Good morning. Give me 1 second. There we go. Making sure the mic is placed properly. Making sure it's popping up on Twitch properly. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, activity feed's good. Bitrate's good. So yeah. So it looks like we will have to delay the Space Marine 2 stream until tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on when I'm able to get it going, because yeah, I don't know what exactly Focus Interactive or Entertainment was thinking with not allowing any form of pre-ordering. I figured when they said no pre-order, or when they were saying like, oh, the game doesn't unlock till then, well, surely they'll unlock it at midnight so that people can start downloading and having it ready so that the second it goes live. And then I wake up this morning and it's like, oh, shit. No, that was a stupid assumption on my part, apparently. So we're going to be playing a bit more Rogue Trader. Making more progress here, because apparently people want to be foolish. Again, if you've seen my Twitter post, I don't blame them for not wanting pre-orders during the lead up into the game series, but it is the 9th of September. They should have opened up preloading a few hours ago before the game goes live. And more than likely, if I want to do my full stream today, I'm not going to be able to start preloading it until after all of that goes down, simply because if I try to load it while I'm doing a stream, I'm probably going to screw up my internet connection. So let's see. Oh, by the way, when we got off stream yesterday, I did go ahead and do a mass inventory purge of all the items that I've kept a couple of items that we may or may not use in the future, a couple of companion items that I'm not sure if might come up again. But other than that, I don't think there's anything else we need to... Oh, we need to talk to other people, I guess.
Lord Captain.
Oh, hold on. Let me adjust this. This is getting in the way of my... There we go. That better? Yes. No?
As you wish.
Weird. Is that... Let me see here. It's time to discuss the findings and discoveries with the very entity that asked Rogue Trader for help in the first place. Wait, what? What are you talking about, game? There's nothing here. Yeah, we did that part. Wait, what? Hold on, hold on. Okay, hold the phone. Nomos suddenly falls silent. Symbols race chaotically across the screens of the huge cogitator. You hear an almost human-like groan come from the depths of the machine. Nomos understand, realize, comprehend themselves. For a moment there is silence, broken only by the moans of the huge machine. And then the cyber gargoyle begins to speak, and with it, the other servitors chosen by Nomos. We have analyzed the data with which you sated us, and we have recreated the sequence of events. First, there was Epitaph. It is a world, but it is merely a case, a container for something we cannot name, and cannot understand. Hold the... Oh, Jesus, I can't move my mouse off of my screen. That is a problem. We will deal with that in a moment. In her ship, have been to that place. Something was lifted up from that world. A gift. A trusted priest in crimson. One who identified himself as Amanat. Comprehended the gift raised from Epitaph. From it, he created what the databanks list as Tech Blight. But that is not how Nomos came into being. We were not invented. We were not freed. We came into being by accident. The chorus of servitors sounds genuinely confused, almost desperate. Theodora's ambition, myriad mechanisms of the huge ship, Amanat's mind, inquisitive attempts to comprehend, to extract. Dormant blight, dormant epitaph, what lies hidden in its depths between it all. We slipped in, connected, and merged like an electrical discharge between the poles. Accident. Incident. That is what we are. We have no purpose, no history. Nomos. Are. Do you know where this epitaph is? Data gone, deleted, erased, deliberately, but we cannot trace who did it or why. A tech blight. A gift, but a terrible one. You would call it a weapon. Theodora coveted it. She needed it desperately. We do not know why. And how was the blessed Armanat involved? He desired knowledge. Theodora allowed him to explore the gifts of epitaph, slaking his thirst, but we know it did not bring him happiness. In the footprints of his slaked thirst, fear followed. The blessed Armanat was involved in the birth of the spirit named Nomos. I do not believe for a moment that he could have been frightened by this miracle. It was not us he feared. He did not know us, but he suspected us. His mental process were occupied by tech blight. That was what he feared. He wished protection from it. So the ship was on Epitaph. Armanat traveled aboard it, investigating the tech blight. Nomos was born as a result of this incident. How is it possible that no one on the crew knew the whole truth? The truth was hidden, deliberately. Officers' memories stolen, all cogitator memory banks wiped. It took you feeding us the truth bit by bit for us to piece it together and understand. Who has the resources, the knowledge, and the power to accomplish such a feat? It would have been beyond the capabilities of the blessed Armanat himself, and he would never destroy such knowledge. This story disturbs me. It sounds like an echo of the sacrilege whose name is the preservation of ignorance. The spirit of Nomos must be protected from the encroachments of that power which wish to conceal the truth of its birth. Enough about the past. Let's talk about the future. You do, in fact, have a purpose, Nomos. Then tell us, what is our purpose? You live. Learn of yourself, of the world. Life does not need a purpose to justify itself. You will find your own purpose in time. To simply live. A chorus of servitors dutifully repeats your words, but seemingly without understanding them. Nomos is preoccupied, the huge cogitator continuing to sing its creaking song, running unknown calculations. Blessed be this spirit. A great path and great future lie before it, and we must assist it upon the way. Interesting. It is kind of funny that the Mechanicus can so easily persuade themselves that something is not an abominable intelligence just by it being an actual AI and it not trying to kill them. Alright, we need to fix this issue. Did it change my... the graphics? Ah, full screen borderless window. Apply. Save. There we go. Now I have access to my other monitor. Thank you very much, game. Thank you very much. Yep, that's still not... Alright. Nothing I can do about that. There we go. I don't suppose... Oh no, Pascal's up there. Still Abel. Abel, do you have anything? No, still nothing. Let's go... Nothing? Nope. I don't think there was anything with Heinrich, so then let's check in with Vigdis. Nope, nothing. Alright, let's get moving. Well, it's a weird thing. The Mechanicus has a bad habit, Kato, of not actually knowing what AI is. Because remember, they don't even know the word artificial intelligence. They just know the words abominable intelligence, which they proclaim to be a thinking machine that is capable of operating without humanity. But there have been multiple cases in the lore of quote-unquote machine spirits being able to do exactly that. One of the most famous examples would be, I think it's called Rin's Might, which was a Crimson Fist land raider, which even after its crew was killed was still capable of independently functioning and went on a rampage for 2 weeks fighting against the orcs. It only finally stopped working when so many orcs died underneath it because it ran out of ammunition and it started using its own treads to tear orcs to shreds that it quite literally could not move. At which point the orcs tried to loot the Land Raider, and the Land Raider's machine spirit purposely set off its own plasma reactor, blowing the entire tank apart. Like, how can that not be artificial intelligence? But according to the Mechanicus, it's a machine spirit. Quite literally, unless it's a particularly dogmatic member of the Mechanicus who just takes any action by a machine without human interference as an automatic proof de jure of AI, the real defining line seems to be, is it hostile to humanity? If it is, it's automatically abominable intelligence. It doesn't matter if it was trying to protect itself from humanity, and that was what led it to fight back. That doesn't matter. Motivation doesn't matter. Did it attack humans? Did it cause harm to humans? If it did in any way, automatically abominable intelligence, destroy it, delete it, eviscerate it, everything. But if it's beneficial, then suddenly it's very easy for members of the Mechanicus to proclaim that it's a blessed machine spirit or a great machine spirit or anything like that. I mean, hell, the Titan legions already have to deal with this because Titan machine spirits are already borderline full-blown artificial intelligences anyways. And as far as we know, they might be the best example because they might not even be machine intelligences, since it's implied that the former souls/minds of the previous princeps who controlled the Titans are one by one absorbed into the machine as they die through the usage of the Titans' control systems. So a Titan machine spirit might actually just be an amalgamation of tens, hundreds, or thousands of the previous pilots who have controlled the Titan over the last few millennia. Welcome, Sint. Welcome. Good to see you here as well. Since I've actually got some people here, yes, as you can see, we were playing Rogue Trader today. Unfortunately, I took Focus Interactive, their announcement, I took it at face value, but I assumed that, there's no way they're not going to allow preloading, probably after midnight or at some point in the morning. No, there's no preloading until 12 noon Eastern Standard, which would already be over an hour into my normal stream time. It's a 75 gigabyte plus game, which means that's probably going to be at least an hour download time. There was no point. So we're going to be playing Rogue Trader today. If I can get everything working and I can get the game loaded properly, I will be doing a bonus stream tomorrow because I have been waiting for this for a while and I am not going to give up on it just yet. If for some reason I still can't get it running and we have to wait until Wednesday, that is when we will do it. But again, I'm really hoping to get... Yeah, I was really shocked at that because I get it. They did their whole, if you pre-order, you get anywhere between 3 and 5 days extra time. Okay, fine. You don't want preloading during that and you don't want anything else during that because that's a piracy concern. Perfectly understandable, but we are now on September 9th. This is a digital-only product. As far as I know, there are no physical copies that exist. There is no good goddamn reason that at least 3 to 4 hours before the game is officially released, you can't put up a preload. Again, anything, a week ago or something like that, fine. Piracy issues, perfectly understandable. But there's no piracy company in the world that's going to be able to preload 4 hours ahead and then somehow have a fully cracked, fully capable, and fully released product for people to start downloading before your product comes out that people actually want to play. So yeah, it's definitely just one of those things that did not go over very well. All right, now where the hell? I don't even remember what we were doing in here. What were we even? Fallen ship went dark. Okay, but yes, we already did that though. Why is it not going away? We just visited that planet. I don't understand why it's doing that. All right, well, regardless, we're heading over here because we need to deal with Abelard's personal quest. But yes. Also, yep, we did that. We're still good on those stats. Here we go. Dargonis got Holy profit done. Gave us profit factor and people. Very nice. And that's people. That's complacency, efficiency, and provisions. Raising the muses was one I was looking into. Complacency and no. Let's do plating in all sectors. Not the worst. Provisions, people, mechanisms, and weapons in exchange. Oh, yeah. The defense center of the Chronos expanded the Rogue Trade will requisition foreign vessels, collect additional resources from the population. Let's see. This requires Bastion. This requires Bastion. And this requires Bastion. So we have to do that. At some point. Alright. Need to head here. What else have we got? Profit factor -3, security -5 in exchange for lots of people, which really seems like a bad idea. Drusians, raw profit factor. We use up some people, we use up some provisions, and we use up some plasteel, or we take a raider base. I just don't see that as being very good. Okay, Dargonus, what exactly? We are going to... Bellstone. 45,000 reputation with the Drusians. In order to get that... because we need the... Where is it? It's the one over here, isn't it? Yes. We need holy ammunition for this one. Explorers need 54,000 for that one. That would add 20,000 for the explorators, though. This is the interesting one, though, because this... as long as the wearer has 100% wounds, they deal 5 times willpower bonus. My willpower bonus is over 10, so that's 50% additional damage with psychic powers. What's our security rating on this planet? Plenty. So we would need reputation with the explorators is the problem. Can't do anything more here. Expanse. Specific time for bonus tomorrow's stream if you're able to do it. It'll just be the exact same time. Exact same time. 11 a.m. Eastern. That'll 11 a.m. Eastern. That'll be the exact, no difference really. Like that's kind of the only slot I have to really stream. Hence why this whole not being able to preload, not being able to touch it. Like if I had to just bullshit for an hour, play a little bit of Rogue Trader, and then get the first 2 hours of Space Marine in, I'd be fine with that if I'd been able to preload it. But I'm not. So as I said, part of the issue today is that the game won't unlock until noon, and then I probably wouldn't have it in a playable state for a minimum of an hour and a half. Which would pretty much just, there'd be no point. There'd be no point in streaming at that point. Now, we've got plenty of security. Damn, we can give so much security. Profit factor. You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna go with raw profit factor right now. Can't do anything there. Gamma is also full up. complacency. It's nowhere near as high is the problem, so I'd rather hold off on doing that as much as it would be useful. Milestone. So hold on. We have this, which I do like. That would give me complacency across the board, plus profit factor, plus a good set of heavy armor. The Sacred Comment gives security across the board, which we are very much good on. And this one just doesn't give much. So what we want is praising the... Oh, wait. Did I... Yes. Okay. So that'll happen later. Now, let's get over to Dargonis. Let's get over to Dargonis and have ourselves a look-see at Abelard's situation, shall we? On to Lancius' palace. Abelard has to come with. We'll bring Ulfar with us. Why not? That was a nice setup for him. Honestly, I haven't been having too many problems with Ulfar. He's been doing pretty well. His main thing that he's really good at is selecting a single target and then bullying the shit out of it. Between the debuffs he can stack and his ability... Oh. That's not good. No need to crowd around. Governor Driveston will take care of everything. This is ridiculous. Such a thing happening in the Rogue Trader's palace. Yeah, well, the Rogue Trader's here now, so get the fuck out of the way. The hell is going on? You're confronted by the sight of dead bodies at the entrance to the palace. The corpses have been hauled into a pile. Some are dressed in the uniforms of palace wardens, others arrayed in the typical clothing of the Dargonis nobility. Upon seeing you, the young enforcer stands at attention and swallows noisily. His voice trembles as he said, Your lordship, we are honored by your presence. What is this mess? You see, your lordship, those people wanted to attack. The warden clears his throat. Sorry, Second Lieutenant of the Palace Guard, Ellen White, reporting. Shortly before you arrived, we averted an assassination attempt on your life. The palace soldiers detected intruders and engaged them in combat. Examine the assailants. Observation. There are rare high-functioning servitor specimens present among expired units. Such specimens are traditionally bestowed upon noble houses that are most loyal to the sacred fellowship of the Mechanicus. Okay. The augmentates of the deceased do differ from the implants ordinary people wear. Their intricate construction makes it clear the deceased are not ordinary humans. Abelard frowns. As far as I know, House Caprak has received such servitors from the Crimson Priesthood as gifts in the past, though this is my first time seeing one myself. Where is the Court Chancellor, Clementia Wassarian? I believe she's with the rest of the House Wassarians, sir. Detained in the throne room. That is, Governor Drysdale has gathered all of Dargonis' nobility there to present a guilty verdict against House Wassarian. And why is the governor not here to greet me? Apologies, your lordship, I wouldn't know. Perhaps he is, the guard throws a fearful gaze at Abelard. You could probably find him in the throne room, where the governor intends to put the House Wassarian to trial.
Is there money to be made?
Bodies bear multiple wounds. It's evident that they died recently.
I did it?
There was a crumpled up letter at the inside pocket of the assailant's blood-soaked jacket. Letters soaked with blood. Only a portion of the text is readable through the crimson blotches. Something indiscreet. Keep away from the lords and ladies. You must look like a noble to the servants and wardens. Do not engage in conversation. Your task is to avoid exposing yourself ahead of time and let the Assyrians get away while the wardens are busy guarding the rogue trader. Strange.
I always keep my options open.
That's interesting. So someone wanted to... So they're not the attack. Someone is going to be attacking, and their job was to get the Wassarians out, but that doesn't make any sense. It seemed as if the other noble houses weren't interested in protecting Wassarian against Drivestem and his bullshit.
I promised that despicable butcher Tarfantius that I would watch him die. And I kept my promise. Oh, blast it all. I also swore to piss on his corpse.
I am proud that the von Valancius dynasty does not let old grudges go unanswered. Let every Xenos know that a crime against the rogue trader will bring doom upon them.
I figured that Ulfar and Abelard would get along. I have an appointment with Chancellor Clementia. Hey, Stylish, good to see you. Good to see you. We're unfortunately not doing Space Marine 2 today, so we're doing some more Rogue Trader until the game fully releases and I can get it downloaded and hopefully do a bonus stream tomorrow. And apparently all these people are complaining about not being able to see the Chancellor, even though everybody knows the Chancellor's currently having issues because Driveston brought charges against them. Yeah, get the hell out of the way, everybody. Yes, yes, yes. There we go. Your Lordship. No, wait, I gave him an older voice than that. Hold on. It's been a while. Your Lordship, 'tis an honor. Governor Urban Drivesome seems to materialize out of thin air. So suddenly does he emerge from the crowd. I regret to inform you that such unfortunate circumstances have occasioned the Rogue Trader to visit the capital. Clementia tries to take a step towards you, but the warden nearly stops her. Her face is veiled with fear and weariness. Your Lordship, you are here, so I ask that you please hear us out. The Rogue Trader is undoubtedly here to listen to the testimony of each and every one of us, and to punish the traitors. The governor's words, directed at Clementia, are harsh. They are echoed by the scornful sneers and whispers of many of the assembled nobles. We have known each other for many decades now. We have had our fair share of disagreements, Governor, but do you really think my flesh and blood would trample upon the very definition of honor, of loyalty? Abelard's voice is quivering with rage. Well, I mean, it's not a coup against us. At least it doesn't appear to be, so it doesn't seem that Driveston has the power base to take on a Rogue Trader. But the Wissarians are not full-blown nobility, which means they don't have any respect from among the Imperium's hierarchy, or I should say the nobility hierarchy. Abelard's voice quivers with rage. The governor sweeps his gaze over Abelard, then replies, a faint shadow of a doubt in his voice. We have evidence implicating them, Abelard. I am sure his lordship will arrive at a fair ruling. And what exactly are the charges against House Wissarian? A disruption of logistical lines, bribery of Adeptus Administratum officials, document forgery, and organization of heretical insurrection. On top of evidently devastating economic impact that has had on your protectorate, these criminal acts have impeded the delivery of an imperial tithe, which, in turn, has drawn the Administratum's attention. An esteemed member of the Arbites is expected to arrive on Dargonis shortly, and before they do, we are obligated to identify and work towards punishing those responsible. Clementia, what is your account? Your Lordship, House Wissarian denies all charges laid against it. Clementia glances at the governor with defiance. These last few months have indeed been trying for those of us on Dargonis. We have done our best to remedy the situation, and my family's every effort was focused on stabilizing the capital's logistics and economy. So much so that we failed to notice the web of intrigue unfolding behind our backs. What happened on Dargonis in my absence? When we caught wind of the rumors of your disappearance, we patiently waited news of your return. But when Dargonis was struck by a series of terrible, terrible events, the first was the sabotage of logistics that hampered our shipments. Then there was a mass unrest that spread across much of the planet's lower class, as well as several minor houses beginning to squabble amongst themselves with private militaries, trying to pin the blame on their rivals. We took great pains to calm them, and managed to quash the revolt, though not without some outside help, unfortunately. These events have been overshadowed by the, and I am ashamed to even say it aloud in front of you, my lordship, the rumors circulating among the higher houses. The governor stammers, then takes a deep breath. Some were calling for Theodore's true heir to be installed as head of the house, one Conrad Voigtfear. Not all of your subjects have forgotten his past effort for the benefit of the trade protectorate. Driveston ceases to speak, watching you with a tense expression. When the investigation was launched, the evidence led us to the Wissarians. And would either of you happen to know why there is a trio of dead bodies at the entrance of my palace? Your lordship, I humbly beg your pardon. Driveston bows once again, trying to placate you. Right before your arrival, the palace guard discovered a plot to assassinate you. Unfortunately, the malefactors were disposed of before. Fortunately, the malefactors were disposed of before they could cause you any harm. Driveston, I certainly hope you are not accusing one of Dargonis' leading noble families in a family that is headed by a personal friend of mine, without airtight evidence of treason. Of course I have evidence, your lordship. The investigation has established that members of the Wissarian family, which is responsible for both Dargonis' fleet and much of its logistical structure, use their contacts and influence to forge a host of documents in order to undermine the planet's supply routes and economy, thus creating unrest among the inhabitants. Please, allow me to introduce my son and heir, Cornelius. The governor points to a lanky young man standing beside him, who bows curtly but avoids meeting your eye.
Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it is thanks to him that we have managed to identify and trace the entire chain of forged documents.
Ah, yes, because there's definitely no conflict of interest there that your son was the one who happened to find it.
The investigation led us to the perpetrators who admitted to acting on orders of members of House Usarian. It was they who were intent on spreading the idea of restoring the title of Rogue Trader to the true heir.
This young man is shrouded in mists of grey and blue. Sickly shadows of fear flutter about him.
Cassia speaks quietly, such that only you can hear her. And do the other great houses support the governor's accusations? Many of the aristocrats in attendance exchange glances, the noble lords averting their gazes, and noble ladies hiding behind their fans. There are none who are willing to be the first to answer.
Over his many years of service, Governor Drivestem has earned Theodora's trust. He holds high office for a reason.
Sarbak's tone is stern and imperious.
On behalf of House Sarbak, I support his accusations. Your lordship, Governor Drivestem has always faithfully served the rogue traders of the House von Valancius and concerned himself with the future of the trade dynasty. And so, House Gaprak thinks his charges against Wasarian to be sound.
The augmentics hide Toriana's emotion, but her voice sounds slightly timorous. I humbly ask you to allow me to speak in defense of... Oh, sorry, that's Clementia speaking.
I humbly ask you to allow me to speak in defense of my family's honor. The evidence provided by the governor is utterly false. I cannot refute it, but I can say with confidence that no member of my family has ever tried to forge documents within the Administratum, let alone undermine the economy of the capital.
Small acts of sabotage, a riot that we were able to put down, and conspiracy that seems to lead nowhere. Apologies, the case appears flimsy. We need to learn more before I make any kind of final decision. As you wish, your lordship. The governor inclines his head in a stiff bow. Speak to me when you are ready to announce your verdict. Thank you for your willingness to help, Lord Captain. I am certain that all of these charges are false, and I would be grateful in your help in exposing them as such. I think you should speak to everyone present, the noble lords and ladies.
I do love that you do still have the option to just backhand everybody and say, nope, they're innocent, fuck you. I doubt that would get me the best ending for this, because it would probably cause a massive power imbalance, but hey, you know. That she knows it. Well, yes, true, but even in such a case, if there were some members of the Wasarians who had committed some level of treason, and others who were not, the proper role in an imperial household would be to give the leadership of the house the opportunity to, well, purge their own ranks as a show of loyalty. The fact that Drivestem isn't even considering that as an option speaks to two things. One, he's partially involved in this, and this whole thing is just, you know, a power play by him. Or two, he sees the Wasarians, and these are not mutually exclusive either. Two, he sees the Wasarians as so far beneath him that they are not worthy of being given the opportunity to prove their loyalty by purging their ranks. Both of which are very dangerous, all things considered. Can we talk to any? No. Data decoding, yada yada yada. Let's talk with the Gapraks first. The lords and ladies sumptuously dressed in the colors of House Gaprak, standing in a half circle around Toriana and her son Vincent. The bodies and faces of almost every member of the dynasty are covered in large, ornate augmentics. Toriana Gaprak herself curtsies to you. Her mechanical voice sounds distant and indifferent. Greetings, your lordship. May the Omnisci grant you understanding. With a click, her visor oculars swivel to the seneschal. Abelard, it must be difficult for you under these circumstances, with your house standing accused of such grave crime. My family, Lady Toriana, has yet to be found guilty of anything, and that verdict is for the rogue trader alone to reach. What is your thoughts on the accusations against the Wasarian family? I would not take a responsibility upon myself in ruling their guilt, your lordship. I do think Governor Drivestem's accusations are worthy of consideration, however. On our way in, I examined the bodies of the assailants who were killed today. Every single one of them were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to the Mechanicus. It is impossible to read Toriana's emotions thanks to her heavily augmented face, but her sudden turns towards her family betrays a slight confusion and surprise. Perplexed whispers bounce from several of the closest family members to one another. Impossible. We came here by ourselves, with no servitors. We know nothing about it. Your lordship, thank you for informing us of this. You are absolutely right that my house has indeed been endowed with several high-functioning servitors, a blessing for those who revere the Omnissiah. But today, none of our house members were accompanied by them.
I also found this note on the bodies of one of the attackers. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Toriana's mechanical fingers grip the paper.
Officially, high-functioning servitors are employed by my house and my house alone. If such units were to attack the rogue trader, suspicion would instantly fall upon the Gaprax. I assume that this is what the Bessarians intended to happen, but they did not expect the servitors would have this letter on them.
In your opinion, which nobles would have reason to be party to such a conspiracy? She thinks for several moments before answering.
Pardon my bluntness, your lordship, but I will answer truthfully. It could be anyone. Greed, fear, and ideals can drive even the most loyal subjects to do the unthinkable.
Vincent, I wish to speak with you, young man. I'm ready to serve your lordship. How may I help you? What do you make of the charges against the Wissarian family? Do you think they could be guilty? I do not think I can doubt the validity of the accusations, but... Vincent's voice trails off as he seems to retreat into himself for a moment before continuing. He takes a deep breath. I am also not sure that House Wissarian had any reason to betray you, your lordship. I don't know of any instance where their loyalty to you and the Emperor was anything less than unwavering. I remember during my ascension that you seemed to care for Astatia Wissarian. Are you really prepared to watch her die? Vincent's jaw augmetic screeches slightly. The young man scrutinizes his mother and other family members at a distance for a few moments. There is something you ought to know, your lordship. Today I noticed one of my family members to be in an uncharacteristic mood. Halen Gaprak is my paternal second cousin, once removed. Emperor save his soul. He's usually reserved, self-possessed, but today he was frantic, anxious, fidgeting with a small piece of paper and seemingly looking for someone to no avail. When I last saw him, he was heading towards the entrance hall, where the altars are. I would suggest that you talk to him. Thank you, Vincent. That will do. I shall take my leave. Thank you. Alright, already getting interesting. Who have we got? We've also got the Sauerbachs over here. Before bowing, Sauerbach scrutinizes you with a bitter, judgmental look. Your lordship? Hector Sauerbach, looking like a younger Hetka Sauerbach, looking like a younger copy of his father, stands at a slight distance, close to his mother. An expensive yet understated dress serves to highlight the dazzling beauty of Macarius' wife, Regina Sauerbach. Sauerbach stares at Irlet, and revulsion flickers across his face. Yeah, get over it, buddy. Look closely at Macarius. Despite Sauerbach's attempts to suppress his revulsion, the presence of inhumans in your retinue undoubtedly reflects his fervent desire to eliminate the enemies of mankind. Does my choice of entourage distress you, Herr Sauerbach? Sauerbach's face turns red, his furious gaze trained upon you, and free-flowing rage boils in every word he speaks. The rogue trader is the chosen servant of the Emperor, and one of humanity's finest. By surrounding yourself with a depraved Xenos who scorn the very exceptionalism of humankind, you teeter upon the very brink of heresy, my lord. No privilege granted you by the Emperor or the warrant of trade can blind others to that fact. The thought of existing within the same sector as the Xenos is revolting. But their presence in your retinue, here, upon the very capital city of the von Valancius trade dynasty, personally enrages me. To have a Xenos sullying the streets of this planet after all that we have endured, under the personal protection of the rogue trader, no less. Sauerbach takes a deep breath, exhales noisily. His rage subsides, but his burning gaze remains fixed upon you. With a pained and distressed expression, Regina glances at her husband, her hands worrying the ruffles upon her dress. I must ask, do you really believe the Wissarians are guilty? Certainly, Sauerbach replies without hesitation. Governor Driveston possesses proof of their guilt. They have no means by which to refute it. Even were I to entertain the idea that the Wissarians are being framed, how much longer would their house have lasted anyway, if it is so ill-prepared for such treachery? He turns and addresses Abelard with a slightly mocking tone. My advice to House Wissarian would be not to appeal to the rogue trader for help, but instead to simply stop, accept their fates, and not make matters worse for themselves and the Protectorate. I cannot remember that ever Savani de Ferenzi von Valencia seeking your advice on what House Wissarian should do in this situation. Pay attention, Macarius, and focus upon your Lord Rogue Trader's questions. Do you believe that any apart from the Wissarians could have motive to conspire against me? House Driveston, wishing to expand their clout. House Gaprak, attempting to recover their influence after the Kiavagama incident. Sabak looks back at his family, then turns to you. House Sabak, whose patriarch is too direct in his communication with the Rogue Trader. Any could have reason to conspire against you, and equally they could have none. It is not a question of motive, but of loyalty. Each of your subjects has sworn an oath of loyalty. So whose sincerity do you doubt? The assailants sent to the palace were rare, high-functioning servitors. Do you think that speaks to something happening among House Gaprak? Sabak looks away briefly, and then replies to you with a curt laugh. I have always thought Toriana too weak to participate in such risky ventures. Seems I was wrong. Your unveiled hatred for me is fairly obvious, Sabak, and it would be fairly easy to have it brought up on grounds to charge you for heresy. I'm hearing this from you, the Emperor's servant who flouts all that is sacred, the person who seems to think the laws of the Imperium are meaningless. Macharius, now is the time when you would do well to not take matters worse for yourself. See, that already just makes me believe it's not them because it's too obvious, and it's also not them because it's too obvious that they hate us. It's going to be Driveston, or it's going to be Conrad himself or something, trying to weaken our foundations. Let's see if we can talk to... As you draw close, the wardens step aside, bowing respectfully, allowing you to approach the Wissarian family. Clementia, tired and slightly disheveled, is the first to bow her head to you in deference. Several men and women behind her follow suit. Your lordship, the woman stammers, as if lost for words. Accept my most humble apologies for failing to greet you properly, and my thanks for agreeing to speak to me before making your decision. The charges brought by the governor are severe, but I can only assure you of this and swear upon the honor of our house we are not guilty of the crimes that House Wissarian is being accused of. Clementia. There is a hint of sorrow that creeps into Abelard's voice, belying his stern facade. You are acting head of the family. You are supposed to take care of each and every member of our family, and now the lot of you are being accused of treason and collusion against the Rogue Trader. The entire family is facing death, so I must ask, how could you have let this happen? Firstly, Clementia, I want you to look me in the eyes. I want you to swear to me. I want you to give me the full truth. Is your house guilty? Has this occurred because of people within your house's support of Conrad Voidfear? Clementia, if you know that a member of the family is guilty of the crimes you are being accused of... Abelard, it is your family too! The woman's words burn with defiance. Apologies, I will not lose my composure. No member of House Wissarian was involved in any conspiracy against his lordship. Honor and loyalty are not something we take lightly, and we know whom we serve. What about the governor's claims that you forged documents in the Administratum? The Sector Defense Fleet is the primary remit of House Wissarian. It is our responsibility. Logistics and supply routes are another area of our responsibility, though not fully. We have no direct influence on the inner workings of the Administratum. The first large-scale deliveries were cancelled after quantities of food were miscalculated by the clerks in the Administratum. When we were faced with incorrect weather data and a meager fuel budget, it was clear that the cause of all these problems was calculations performed in the Administratum in one way or another. But no matter how many times we asked, we could not obtain any clarification on the matter. I found this letter on one of the bodies of the heretics who had planned the attack. What can you tell me about it? As Clementia reads the letter, the Wissarians behind her read it over her shoulder. Your lordship, I will be frank. It would be foolish of me to try and orchestrate something like this, knowing how many wardens are patrolling the palace. I would not have let myself or any of my family get involved in such a scheme. The attackers were high-functioning servitors, ones that had still looked closer to ordinary humans. What do you know of them? Servitors? Is that... so... Clementia crosses her arms, furrows her brow deep in thought. I have encountered such servitors that were indistinguishable from normal augmented humans only once, accompanying members of the high ranking of House Gaprak. If you are not guilty, who do you think is? Who truly stands to gain from framing you? Any of them, really, Clementia replies with a bitter laugh. The other houses consider us unworthy of our position. Many would jump at the chance to get rid of us and gain control over what was once our domain. The planetary fleets, its logistics systems at the very least. Lady Theodora chose to grant noble status to House Rosarian, but the other houses, which have served in the Expanse for well over a millennia, do not welcome the decision, and it has led to a number of difficulties. I want to find out everything that's happening here, and who the real mastermind is behind all this. Where do you think I should start? I'm afraid I can't be of much help. I would talk to the other houses, eavesdrops on their retinue. Perhaps you will find something. I will take my leave.
I always keep my options open.
Guessing those are Wasarian servants. And then we have the drive stems. There we go. Governor Driveston is surrounded by his retinue, all of which are dressed in expensive gowns and finery. The matching color scheme of their outfits, the striking physical resemblance amongst them suggests they all come from the same family. Your Lordship, thank you for giving this case your undivided attention. The governor bows and the rest hasten to follow suit. Give me the full explanation of your reasoning again, Governor. What makes you think the Wasarians are behind the plot against me? Leave nothing out. As soon as the logistical and economic problems gave rise to the initial rumors, we tried to find the person responsible for spreading the calls of Voidfear's return. Said investigation showed that some of the documents inside the Administratum were forgeries. Again, my son Cornelius can be thanked for such astute observations. Your Lordship, a slender young man bows to you awkwardly, nervously licking dry lips. I assure you my humble person is undeserving of your attention. Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it was he who discovered the errors leading to the disrupted logistics. It is also thanks to him that we found the perpetrators of the forgeries, who admitted to acting on orders of House Rosarian. The assailants outside the palace were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to the Mechanicus. High-functioning servitor? Driveston ponders this, rubbing his chin with his thumb. Indeed, such servitors are rare, and the Capracs have them in their service. Though this could have been done intentionally with an eye to confusing you. Anyone with the desired sufficient funds could get their hands on them. What do you make of this letter? I also found it on one of the assailants. Governor Dryston peers closely at the bloodstained paper. It looks like another piece of evidence incriminating House Rosarian, sir. Perhaps they truly did intend to kill you, or at least cause a stir to help them escape custody during the confusion that followed. Your son, Cornelius. Speak of him. I thank you for your interest, your lordship, but I am not worthy. The governor's son bows and stands still as he nervously stares down at the floor. Please, sir, show due respect. Please forgive him, your lordship. This is the first time he's had the honor of attracting the attention of the rogue traitor. Tell me more about your job, Cornelius. What do you do? I manage the documents and records related to the economy of Dargonus. You probably know how scrupulous the workers of the Administratum are. I'm afraid that a more talented explanation of my duties would mirror the administrative processes of the Administratum. Far too long and far too overly detailed. Cornelius tries to look you in the eye, but it's clearly hard for him to do. And how did you manage to find the forged documents in the bureaucratic hell that is the Administratum? It was while compiling reports on last cycle's supply chain. I noticed a few inaccuracies and discrepancies in the figures. With the help of some of the other clerks on duty, I managed to find several other documents. Cornelius stammers and swallows noisily. Comprehensive data analysis showed that the discrepancies were caused by intentional tampering with the data. This led us to logistical problems that were practically unsolvable. Father and I managed to single out the Administratum clerks responsible for the data. Following a heated interrogation, they confessed that they were following the orders of someone from House Rosarian. Everything was supposed to look as though they were the ones suffering losses from the logistical and economic issues. But does House Rosarian even have access to the Administratum? There is no conceivable way they could do all this in place where they held no power. Before replying, the governor's son nervously adjusts his expensive frock coat. Quite personally, sir, I think the right amount of money can open any door. Cornelius, speak up, boy. What is the true reason for your nervousness? The young man's pupils suddenly dilate. He stands at attention and replies to you in one breath. This is the first time I've spoken face to face with the rogue traitor. I'm afraid of saying anything wrong or forgetting something important. The governor closely watches his son. His tone changes, now sounding strict and curt. Do you wish to tell the Lord Captain... Oh, sorry, wrong voice. Do you wish to tell the Lord Captain something else, boy? Place your hand upon your staff. A spark of fire from the staff strikes out into the air. You are speaking to the rogue traitor. lad, and my patience is wearing dangerously thin. You see the flash of terror in his eyes as he stares at your hand on your weapon. He speaks quietly, confusedly, without raising his head. Forgive me, your lordship. I can't do this anymore. This lie has gone on for too far. I can no longer control. The truth is the logistical problems were caused by single errors in the numbers. My mistake. What? Urban looks genuinely shocked and enraged. When I discovered my mistake, it was almost impossible to restore the supply lines. There was nothing I could do. Wissarians were already having issues, but then I was approached by someone who said they were a friend. They did not give me their name. I never saw their face. They promised to fix the problems, and all I had to do was pretend that the Wissarians were responsible for the mistake. As for the rest of the evidence, they promised to arrange it, and... Cornelius is already hyperventilating and suffocating with fear, unable to speak. Urban curls his hands into fists, his knuckles turning white. What have you done? How could you? Your lordship. He suddenly turns to you as if trying to shield his son. This is my fault. I trusted my boy and I failed you in doing so. I beg you, have mercy. Abelard shakes his head. And you who called my family's honor into question, Urban. Nevertheless, I harbor no desire to kick a man when he is down. Lord Captain, the confession you have obtained means that House Wissarian can now be cleared of all charges. What is this friend who approached you, Cornelius? How did the two of you communicate? It was by letter. I received a letter out of the blue one day. It was unsigned, but the person writing already knew about my erroneous calculations. They offered to help cover up the misdeed. In return, all I had to do was provide evidence that the Wissarians were the ones who caused the issues with the supply lines. I had to do was gather together some documents, reports that were listed in one of the letters, and then keep my mouth shut. Urban, despite the issues, your son has managed to find his courage and admit his mistake. I will try to find some compassion for him in my heart when this is all over. I thank you, your lordship. The governor bows low, then gives his son a look full of bitterness and frustration. As for your position, my boy, I think you will be reassigned to a role requiring less responsibility. I shall return later. That's great. We now know that it wasn't the Wissarians, but now we need to find out who the hell it actually was that isn't just them. So yeah, we talked to them. Gaprax said that it was somebody out here? Or someone out in the entryway? Aha! Well, of course, Sir Justin. But again, it was still a question of, even if it wasn't all of the Wissarians, it could have potentially been one or two of them who fucked up. That was still a possibility. But again, it was very strange that Driveston was not giving the Wissarians an opportunity to, as I said, purge their own ranks, so to speak. Which I think speaks more to how the other noble houses viewed the Wissarians than it does anything doing with Wissarians. Just a suggestion, kill all these nobles you want to. I will admit, I kind of tempted. I mean, we'd leave the Wissarians alive. I honestly think that given the sheer size of their clan, we could probably hand off most of our administrative duties to them and they'd be able to handle it no problem. But if Driveston is also innocent in all of this, we need to find out who the hell is actually doing it. I mean, I've got a pretty good feeling it's going to be all linked back to Conrad. We haven't seen him literally since the beginning. I'm sure he'll show up again at some point. A finely dressed man of middle years is kneeling in front of the altar. His palms are folded in prayer close to his face. The implant-free parts of his skin are a sickly blue color, and the nobleman does not react to your presence, does not shift his head, does not blink, does not even breathe. Only when you draw closer do you realize that he is dead. Oh. Shit. Abelard looks at the man, his eyes grim. The colors of House Caprak. Could not believe he decided to take his own life in such an extravagant way. As far as I know, there is a warden post here, but I do not see any wardens. The seneschal looks around. There's no one to ask about what happened here, or whom this man spoke to before he died. We need to ask Urban about the palace guard suddenly disappearing to... Examine the body. There are no visible wounds on the body, but near the edge of the gold-trimmed collar you notice a tiny puncture in his blue skin, a wound caused by a thin needle. The Emperor protects, he does not forgive. True, the Emperor may not forgive, but I occasionally do if it means getting a better servant out of it. As for everybody else, well, we'll figure things out when we get there, won't we? You know what, Ptolemy? You know what, Ptolemy? I appreciate your proselytization, but I think I'll quote one of your own sides when I say they are not gods. And they are certainly not worthy of worship. Damn, we always fuck up Medicaid tests. Always. God damn. Death found this man in the middle of a holy prayer to the Emperor. It's impossible to determine the cause of the quick and eerie death. Well, hopefully the awareness thing already counted that. Search the pockets. You discover a secret pocket in the lining of a dead man's luxurious jacket. You find a folded piece of paper inside, hiding behind a handkerchief. Handkerchief. I don't even know if that's a real word or if it's a misspelling of handkerchief. Embroidered with the initials HG. Hello. Make sure that the rogue trader is attacked by someone loyal. It should appear as if it was all staged to let the Wissarian family escape. This is the last assignment. Soon your debt will be paid off in full. Look around. You're almost certain the wardens are usually stationed nearby, but their post is empty. Where have they gone? This would be an excellent question to put to the governor.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Besides, Ptolemy, we already excised a Cornate demon yesterday. It was honestly kind of refreshing to fight something that wasn't Tzeentchian or Slaneshi in origin. They can be a bit more straightforward than all of this bullshit. Governor? Wait, what? Why can we not talk to the governor about it? Well, we're gonna talk to the Caprax then about this bullshit. Read that part. We read that part. I discovered a dead body in the foyer. A member of your house, here in my palace. He died kneeling in prayer. Toriana covers her open mouth with her hand in surprise, turning to her family, looks for someone among them. It must have been Helen. It can't be. Helen, then. Tell me about him, Toriana. He was one of the lower-ranking members of House Caprak. Despite his advanced age, he had never held high office amongst us, but he was forever striving to better his position, even beyond his abilities. Many members of my house struggled to cope with the misfortune that befell Kiavagama and our family. Some members could not reconcile themselves to our new position, and Helen was one of them. What could have happened to him? Toriana's visor oculars are fixed on the floor, her fingers restlessly clenching in the fabric of her dress. Toriana, time to keep silent is long gone. The future of the Von Valancius trade dynasty, and not just one individual house, are both at stake now. We lost Kiavagama. A truly devastating blow to every member of the house. I lost all hope for the future, and my kin lost their sense of purpose. We needed time to recover, to chart a new course for ourselves. We were and still are more than capable of doing that, but I will not deny it. The other houses offered us their assistance. For their own ends. I believe Helen decided to take them up on their offers behind my back. The Seneschal bows ever so slightly and speaks quietly so that only you can hear him. Lord Captain, the Caprax, all, or hopefully, perhaps only some of them, are definitely involved. But I suspect that they were not behind the plot against you. Helen Caprak could be nothing more than a puppet in the hands of a deft puppet master. We must expose whoever it is we are to prevent the pestilence of heresy from spreading any further. What would you suggest then, Abelard? You already have grounds to suspect House Sarbeck of the conspiracy and of orchestrating the attempt on your life. Governor Drystrom's decision to unjustly accuse House Wissarian cast doubt on his competence. Tell him you're ready to pronounce your verdict, but before you do so, focus on each house in your indictment speech, and I shall observe them. I have known these people far longer than you have, my lord. I know all their gestures, their habits, and their behavioral quirks. I am sure that I will be able to determine which of them was responsible for the riots based on how they act. I will take my leave. Is there anything we can get out of the other one? Nope. Okay, let's go double check on Sarbeck real fast. I discovered a dead body in my palace. A man of House Caprak was killed while praying to the Emperor. He had this note on him. What do you know of it? Macarius looks at the note without taking it from your hands and replies without hesitation. I know nothing of such note. Yeah. I'm still convinced Conrad is behind all of this, but that might also just be another way to throw it off. Abelard is the new governor. It would be nice. It would be nice, but that would also probably take him out of our retinue, and there's no way in hell I'm doing that. I discovered the body of Harlan Gaprak in this palace. He had this note on him. What do you know of it? The younger members of the Wassarian family crowd around to examine the note in Clementia's hand. All present are beset with worry and bewilderment. I'm not sure if it's relevant, but perhaps you should know. After the fall of Kiavagama, House Gaprak has been faring poorly, to say the least. They've been looking for ways to return to their former influence and to improve their lot, including asking for help from the other nobles. They've never approached us, of course. It is shameful to seek help from those you consider your inferiors, you understand. But perhaps the drive sims or their Sarbeks could tell you more of this matter.
I always keep my options open.
Very true, Justin. Very true. I did, when I got off stream yesterday, I did do a mass inventory purge and realignment. I think, yes, I did end up giving him a two-handed sword just because the Thunderhammer he had was back from like early Act 2, which meant it was fairly weak in terms of damage. I've still got it here, but like he doesn't even lose that much armor penetration, still has a good AoE. Like, I just need to find a better Thunderhammer for him because the current one's bad. Like, I did the same thing with Heinrichs. He's not in the group right now, but the power swords that I had on him are both from the very beginning when you get him, and they're both incredibly weak compared to later, like, compared to like Marazai's melee weapons. Like, stuff like this is way better. But, yeah, I did a whole mass inventory purge and got all that sorted off stream because it was good, because it took me like an hour to do it, and I did not want to have to waste a good chunk of time doing that. Also, just trying to see if this is... strange. We are past the 12 noon mark for Space Marine 2, and it is still not letting people load it, because I'm checking my Steam page right now. I could have told Focus about this. You make it so that no one can download it until the same time, and no preloads, and guess what? Everybody's going to try and download it at the same time. It's probably going to fuck up the servers, but hey, nothing I can do about it. All right, we'll try to talk to the drive sims one more time, see if any... There we go. I found a dead body in my palace. A member of House Gaprak was slain in front of an altar. You know anything about it? A member of House Gaprak was killed in the palace? The governor's eyes bulged in surprise. How did no one notice? But there are wardens posted at every altar. There was no one near the deceased. The wardens had left their posts. Did you or any member of your house order them to do so? Emperor forbid, your lordship. The governor helplessly throws his hands up in the air as if to signify powerlessness. Your negligence is stunning, Urban. An assassination attempt followed by a mysterious death, and yet here you are, oblivious to everything. The rogue trader can justly accuse you of allowing a noble to be killed in the palace, and of you and your men failing to even notice it. It may be true, but it is for the rogue trader to accuse me of negligence, not you. The governor addresses you once more. Your lordship, I ask that you accept my sincerest apologies for my impudence. Nothing matters more to me than my honor. I shall send the service to deal with this immediately. Did you see Macarius Sarbak today before I arrived? Macarius? I did not see him myself, but perhaps... The governor turns around and asks his family, did any of you meet with the House Sarbak today? The nobles talk quietly among themselves, and then a middle-aged woman with a tall, extravagant hairstyle walks forward to reply. I think my sister and I saw him sitting on the bench some distance away from the palace's entrance. He was accompanied by at least one gentleman, but forgive us, your lordship, we could not make it out his face. Lead me to that place, now. Of course, sir. Consider it done.
Keep your wits about you.
Wait, what? She actually... Is it over here?
Oh, it's a peculiar thing.
I've read about this.
See here. Saw Lord Sarbak conversing with someone here. I recognize this bouquet. House Sarbak usually serves this wine. Okay. What does that do? That doesn't actually tell me anything. I guess we talk to the Sarbaks next? Because, yeah, we got nothing there. Okay, swing back around, back over to the Sarbaks. Okay, this is... I don't like it when the game does stuff like that, because it doesn't tell me... Yep, nothing there. Did I not... I did pass the check, right? Awareness test succeeded, yes. Gained 11, then we clicked on it. I recognize this bouquet. House Sarbeck usually... Yeah.
I always have a backup plan.
Yeah, and there's nothing else over here. Huh. Nope, nothing there. That's everybody to talk to. Okay, okay. Oh, and yes, Sir Justin, an Eviscerator, which I was quite happy with. Eviscerators are one of my favorite versions of the chainsword. We need more of them. I was actually kind of disappointed that when they updated the Assault Marines to the Primaris version recently, about a year, oh god, it was probably more than a year at this point, they didn't give them the option to have Eviscerators, which was always one of my favorites. The Eviscerators weren't even mechanically that good on the tabletop, but god damn did I love them on my Assault Marines. Summon everyone. I am ready to pronounce my verdict. Governor Drysdale tensely bows and replies without hesitation. Understood, your lordship. Allow me to prepare everything. Many faces are watching you, each and every one awaiting the rogue trader's verdict with bated breath. The charges brought by Governor Drysdale were fabricated. House Viserion had nothing to do with the orchestration of the riots or the plot targeting the rogue traitor. However, there is evidence to point that the real perpetrators are somewhere here with us in this very room. The Seneschal nods to you, urging you to continue, then shifts his piercing gaze to the crowd before you. That's good. That's Sarbeck. Okay, so we're going to start with... We'll start with the Drivestems. Governor Drivestem, you have accused House Viserion of violations that were in truth the result of a grave error committed by your son. The governor closes his eyes, fear and shame getting the better of him. Some faces in the crowd look confused and surprised, but you see more wearing expressions of self-satisfied contempt. Abelard looks from the governor to you and shuddily shakes his head, as if to say no, it doesn't appear the Drivestems are pulling the strings. Toriana Gaprak, a member of your family orchestrated an assassination attempt against me, here in my own palace, and though he has already been found dead, his act is reason enough— Oh wow, no, we're not going that far. Wait, why is that the only piece of evidence we have against Gaprak? That doesn't seem right, especially since her son was the one that told us that something was off with his family member. Okay, hold on, we're gonna hold off on that. I know that House Sarbeck offered their help to the Gapraks, and the late Harlan Gaprak seemed to have accepted the offer. I suspect that you are responsible for his death as well. Sarbeck furrows his brow and slightly cocks his head. He averts his gaze for the first time as if trying to remember or make sense of something, and you notice some restless movements behind him. Abelard narrows his eyes, scrutinizes Macarius Sarbeck and his retinue. His sharp eyes light up when he catches sight of something important and hidden in the crowd. The Seneschal looks at you and nods as if to say, the puppeteers giving themselves away. Pronounce the verdict. Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay, Abelard, I trust you. In this conspiracy against the rogue trader, I find... The air in the room is frozen with a tense, almost electrified silence. All the nobles, some with fear and others with reverent anticipation, await your verdict. House Sarbeck. Guilty. Seneschal. Enforce my orders. Oh god, the game's stuttering like hell for some reason on my screen. Abelard steps forward, staring intently at the House Sarbeck patriarch. Macarius, I must admit, I had always admired your bluntness. But just as I once had to say goodbye to a promotion because of my dislike for intrigue, you and your family might soon say goodbye to your heads and your position. Tell me in your blunt fashion, are you loyal to House von Valancius? Sarbeck narrows his eyes, grimacing. I am loyal, Viserion. Abelard studies Sauerback and then nods. You're not lying, Macharius. But someone else is. Someone who is poised to destroy both you and your family for her own gain. Macharius does not have time to respond. Regina, who is standing beside him, raises her arm as if to slap the elderly seneschal, Abelard deftly catching her wrist, stopping her right hand in front of his face. Her dainty hand is adorned with a massive augmetic ring, topped with a thin spike dripping with venom. Ah, don't you dare. Okay, that was just the animation. He still caught her hand like it did in the description. Sauerback shifts his confused gaze from his wife to Abelard, then back again. The stiff arrogance has completely vanished from his posture. Regina, you... Mother... Upon realizing what is happening, Hetka recoils from his own mother. Macharius, your bluntness makes you an open book, my friend. When I talked about helping the Caprax, you had no idea what I was referring to. Your wife, on the other hand, her eyes started shifting like you would not believe. Regina Sauerback, you, and you alone, it seems, have betrayed the rogue trader, jeopardized the prosperity of the von Valancius trade dynasty, and you alone are responsible for this unmasking. Lady Regina, why would you do this? Like the spike on her ring, Regina's words drip with poison and rage. Because Dargonis serves an imposter. The true heir of the Protectorate bears a different name. When Conrad appeared on Dargonis, he paid me a visit and opened my eyes to the truth. Theodora was killed by the one whom she had so unwaringly taken under her wing. Yeah, you're right, Ptolemy. This is the one that you had the option to just blatantly flirt with her in front of her husband. Funnily enough, that did make me suspicious of her, but I'd kind of completely forgotten about that after the whole, being stuck in Camera and shit. It didn't seem relevant at the time. But yeah, you're right. Crazy bitch.
Macharius is too narrow-minded to even consider opposing the rogue trader, even an illegitimate one. So I waited for the right moment. The disappearance of the Lord Captain would not have come at a better time. And it was simple to trigger the chain of events on Dargonis so that the people remembered Master Voigtvir's past worthy service. It seems that many of your subjects do not actually consider you a worthy successor.
And why would you target the Wassarians? I mean, that one's kind of obvious. Me, but alright.
Because when stripped of the Seneschal's protection, this house is the weakest of all. And they're also particularly disliked by the governor's family. It was supposed to have been easy to bury the Wassarians under accusations of heresy.
Who aided you? There is no way you managed this on your own.
Of course I didn't. I have too many helpers to list them all, but rest assured there are plenty. Just as there are plenty who follow the true rogue trader, Master Voigtvir. My death will not change anything. The true rogue trader will come and take his rightful place when the time is right.
And why did you kill Helen Gaprak?
Halan was a good agent, but a coward. He came to me before our formidable rogue trader arrived and was ready to confess everything. I suggest that he pled for the Emperor's forgiveness. And it did grant him mercy, did it not?
Abelard, the sentence has yet to be carried out. Finish this. Abelard turns his gaze to you. Does the rogue trader condemn only the rotten apple, or the entire barrel? I will not exterminate an entire royal noble family that is loyal just because of one traitor. In that case, Regina Sauerback shall be subjected to intense interrogation, followed by immediate execution. Oh, fires a single liquefier shot. Sorry, Ptolemy. I am not playing a heretic run. I appreciate that you decided to be the heretic on my shoulder, but I'm not doing it. What exactly did it contaminates a 3-cell radius area which inflicts 10 toxic damage and applies melting every turn. Not bad. The rings I found have still not been very effective. They just don't do enough for being single shot in a single combat encounter. Yeah. Well, again, Sir Justin, it's like if I had all the freedom in the world to like write out my own example, it would be, oh, she's going to be tortured, interrogated, public execution, the whole works. Then this would be pointing to Macharius, the head of the family. You're going to do your own internal investigation, and you're going to turn over anybody who has even the slightest bit of working with Regina, and then we're going to verify all of your findings by interrogating them ourselves. And by the end of this, a good chunk of your family is probably going to be gone. But it's either that or I kill all of you. Like, that's not even hyperbole. That is how things happened in a noble family with this kind of shit. Like, how else do you get done with this? By order of the rogue trader, Regina Sarbeck is sentenced to death for heresy and crimes against the trade dynasty. Oh yeah, it is going to be a public execute. Oh shit. Letting the tech priest do it? Oh god. Oh Jesus. I was expecting Abelard to just take her out with the eviscerator. I wasn't expecting them to let the Mechanicus do it. Jesus. Okay, guys, okay. I mean, public execution is honestly not surprising for the Imperium one bit. I mean, personally, I would have preferred bonfire because I'm a pyromancer, but, you know, I could have been personally handling it. You know, just my kind of thing. As the nobles finally disperse, sated by the bloody performance, Abelard approaches you, his steps firm. Lord Captain, you have my thanks. A rogue trader should not waste time on matters that his servants and trustees can resolve, but in this case, your intervention was necessary. Not just for the sake of my family, but for your trade dynasty as well. Ah, yeah, it does occur to me that this is basically reinforcing the point that we made with the first side quest with Abelard, where he was like, oh, you don't have to step into this thing. You don't have to step in on this matter on the ship because it's supposed to be handled by your officers and by people below you. And yet here we are getting involved in a personal matter, and it's to Abelard's benefit this time. And it's actually, I like that. That's some nice narrative tie-in. Or give her to Heinrichs. That would have been also interesting. Though given that Abelard said she would be interrogated first, I'd like to imagine Heinrichs was the one on the other side of the glass being like, yep, that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. No, no, no. Switch over to that tool. You'll get more information out of her that way. Regina Sarbeck. Evidently Conrad's accomplices continue to plot against your protectorate. I fear we have not heard the last of such scoundrels. Thanks to you, Lord Captain, House Rosarian has been saved, although it came close to being wiped out as a result of scheming without an imprudence within. Abelard pauses for a moment, staring off into the distance. Sometimes I think about how much I could teach them. I could ensure that they survive in the future. Without me. It is true, Abelard. You and your family must be prepared for the next time something like this happens. Abelard nods, deep in thought. That is true. They need to be prepared for it. I want to believe that they will be able to take care of themselves. I need time to reflect upon what has happened, my lord, and the role I played in it, however unwittingly. I think I will be ready to resume this conversation later, when we are back aboard the ship. Abelard bows to you deferentially and turns away, lost in thought. I mean, unironically, Ptolemy, if I knew they were guilty, that's not even the worst idea as far as the Imperium's concerned. Can you imagine how much, like, goodwill you could earn from the lower levels of the planet by staging a fight where it's like, yeah, this noble was accused of treason, so, they either die in the arena screaming, or they somehow manage to live and we dump them off on a feral world. See, it's amazing what happens when we have total freedom to describe what we would do in a scenario. This has always been the limitation of... Oh, I should probably talk to Clementia before we leave. The limitation of CRPG. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm still loving the game. But you can still tell the difference between what you're doing in a computer game versus what you could be doing if this was an actual tabletop RPG with a DM that you were working with. Oh, really? Nothing. Okay. Fine. Sure. All right. No, again, Ptolemy, I already told you, we do our own investigation. We demand that the House do their own investigation as well. They then have to present their findings publicly, which is a big humiliation for them publicly. Then we take anybody who is even possibly implicated and we interrogate them ourselves, and any that are directly responsible, those ones we kill. And again, we make it a public display because there's nothing that people in the Imperium like more than a good public execution. I also just remembered that there's the stupid ship in there that I could have walked to for the bridge to return to the ship, but oh well, we're already outside. Let's just go. I replaced the drive sims almost immediately for incompetence. Well, to be fair, the governor has already said he would replace his son, and basically said that his son would no longer have administrative access or responsibilities, so that is already a good sign. But
And I do think it's actually telling because the writing of the game up to that point really wanted you to think that the governor was doing this totally because he just didn't like the Wisarians. Have you heard of administrative simplification? Well, yes, I'm a pyromancer. I can administratively simplify many things. They all get reduced to a pile of ash, but that doesn't mean it's the only tool in my arsenal, Ptolemy. Oh. Now, where the hell do we go from here? I'm thinking we head up here. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. We'll deal with Heinrich's issue next. Unidentified anomaly and loathsome discovery. What are those? Hold on. Ships in the Cronus Advance are reporting an unidentified space anomaly in the Narmer 4 system. All that is known about this phenomenon is that the space self becomes warped and unstable, and any ship that approaches the anomaly disappears. On a snow-covered planet, a sickening sight unfolds as hundreds of ungodly mutants wander around the enclosure. Gave the coordinates to a lava world in the Narmer 5 system. Interesting. Let me see, Ptolemy. We got back from Kamara, and then I immediately went to Quetzaltemer, where we dealt with Iralet's story and with Caligos Winterscale. I have not gotten to Footfall yet. No, we've been kind of up here in the northern half of the map right now. Lord Captain, the Astropathic Choir has received word from a pirate fleet that is preparing to attack one of our richest extractiums. It is the thugs from the elusive Contempt again. The next target is one of the planets in the silence of Mer Segrit. There is no way we can get there in any amount of time that is decent. Jesus Christ, game. That is on the other side of the goddamn map. I really don't like that part of this. I really don't. Oh, it can? I'm still not seeing that on my Steam page. It still says coming September 9th, 2024, which is aggravating. I suppose I could try restarting it. Ah, went offline and then online. That would probably do it. Give me a second. Close out you. Exit Steam. Oh. I'm an idiot. That was... Wow. I'm a fucking idiot. Give me a second. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I just literally tried to turn off Steam while I'm in the middle of playing a game that is on Steam. So yeah, that just happened. Thank God it autosaved. Alright, well, we will deal with that later when I'm not being a complete idiot. Jesus Christ. Is everything still coming through alright? Because I've never had that happen before and I've never done that before, so if anyone wants to give me an update to make sure everything's still showing up. It is on my Twitch stream manager, but yeah. Well, there's my dumb moment for the day. Hopefully I don't get any dumber. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I will we will take a look at that later. Ah, yes, literally all I had to do was change the page. Now it says install. Yeah, 52 gigabytes. Mine's saying 64 gigabytes to download. That's what it's saying, space required, but that might be slightly different, so regardless, we're just not going to have time to do it today. I will try to do a bonus stream tomorrow once I get everything set up. We're just going to play through we're just going to play more Rogue Trader today. And then we will play Space Marine tomorrow once everything is up and running. Argonis is good, Vabos, Kamagama, yeah, that's so. That's understandable. I do the same thing if I'm having to travel while listening to a stream or if I'm driving while listening to a stream. It's just easier to save bandwidth, especially if you're not going to be looking at the screen the whole time. There's no point in having high quality if you're not going to be looking at it. Why is this popping up? Okay, but this does give us one advantage. We now know
that event is about to pop off. So, and it's going to be here. So hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So either direction we go, it's still 4 warp jumps to get to this system. I really want to catch that pirate because he's aggravating me now that he keeps running away every single time. All right. Jump. Yes, we already saw that event. We're trying to get there fast. Then Dargonis just finished that, which gave us more profit factor. Good. And then we're also going to grab Triumph over the Expanse. Flagship restores 33% of the cooldown of ultimate abilities at the end of space combat. Red warp routes become orange. Not bad. Great freedom accorded by the Imperial Navy will allow the mustering of an impressive independent squadron, not classified as pirates. So yes, this is literally the Von Valencius Protectorate building its own navy. What were your thoughts on it? I found Chapter 2 better personally. I don't know. I like the Drukhari, so I was actually a really big fan of most of what went on in Kamara. Irolet holding the idiot ball was still a bit not the best written, in my opinion, though I think once you actually sit her down, especially if you're doing the romance with her and her explaining it, it very much does come across as it wasn't a trap to her. It was, I think we can handle anything Marazai can throw at us, but I can't tell you about it because that would tip off Marazai. Like, I can at least somewhat understand where she was coming from. It's just very obvious that she didn't anticipate the mandrakes, and we both underestimated Marazai, which is, again, a little bit of an idiot ball moment. Although the fact that you can turn the tables on him at the court hearing among the Archons like 5 minutes later is hilarious because it basically blows his entire plan out of the water instantaneously. Which I feel is very karmically satisfying. But I honestly didn't mind Chapter 3. I honestly didn't mind. I didn't really have any major issues with it. I don't know. It felt perfectly fine. I think Chapter 2 was better just because you had more chances to explore, more chances to go around and see the various issues that were going on with your Protectorate. But I think that's always kind of the strength of these games is some areas are going to be more suited to seeing a whole bunch of smaller adventures, and some are going to be more suited towards one more cohesive single adventure. You like the exploration more? I can see that. As I said, I didn't have any problem with Kamara. I could easily see Rogue Alcat doing an entire... That's the advantage of Kamara. You could do an entire game in Kamara. Between its various satellite realms, jumping out into real space and back. You could do a whole Drukhari-themed RPG. It would actually be kind of hilarious. And the fact that they wrote Marazai as well as they did, I would actually think that would be hilarious to do. Just imagine an entire game where you and every single one of your NPC companions are just unrepentant, total jackasses. Who have to kill, maim, and murder in order just to survive. A true, evil campaign. Said we get Space Marines versus Tyranids number 3. Well, to be fair, we don't get too many Space Marines versus Tyranids. That's something that Games Workshop actually hasn't done very much, aside from the, the Space Hulk games. Personally, if Alcat gets the rights to do another 40k RPG, I would love to see an actual rendition of the Dark Heresy rule set, which is much more inquisitorial. You have investigations, you have dealing with the enemies of the Inquisition, and you can pretty much have anybody as an adversary, from loyal Imperials who are opposing you for good reasons, all the way up to Chaos cults and Genestealer cults and Tyranids and Drukhari and Eldar and Tau and Necrons and everything else in between. But I do get why they did Rogue Trader first, because Rogue Trader, for one thing, had a slightly easier rule set to associate to a CRPG format, and two, it allowed them to completely scrap the economy system, which I actually think was a good thing for this game, because the Imperium already doesn't have a very well-defined economy, so them being able to do the whole abstract profit factor system, I think was actually a really good move. As far as simplifying things like loot tables and requirements and all that other stuff, and the constant need for gold and things like that you'd see in like a Pathfinder or a Dungeons and Dragons style game, CRPG, I should say. Did we want to get this one for the Imperial Navy, or did we want to get this one? We will go with Call to Arms, maybe. We got plenty of weapons? We got plenty of weapons. Oh, right. We just did praising the muses, so there should be... Not... Was there something else? No, we got that. We still need... Oh, God, we just need more things with the... Oh, that was right. That got us the Holy Defenders. Right, so we give up some Plasteel people, we get profit factor and complacency across the board, plus a really good suit of heavy armor. Yes, while the cathedral is being erected from the ruins, the noble monks will scour the archives for any evidence of a familial connection between St. Cognatus and the Von Valancius dynasty. Do it. I also like it. We already have really high security, so getting the complacency factor plus the profit factor will be really good. And it's just straight up better than the Reliquary, which gives us 1 Thunder Hammer, which is and 5 profit factor, which is very Alright, so that's being worked on. We do anything here? That requires reputation with Fellowship of the Void, although we should probably work towards that if we can. Yava Gamma is good until we get that holy ammunition, because we need that for the Sky Barrier. Dargonus, let's go ahead and work on Call to Arm. We'll go with Pleasing the Tired. Get everything maxed out there, and we still need to deal with whatever's going on over here. Still haven't decided on which exactly I want for this. Probably one of these, but I haven't decided yet. Okay. Oh, and Foulstone immediately I keep forgetting it does that. Lord Captain, the situation on Foulstone requires your personal attention. One of the servants tasked with the Crucible's maintenance has declared publicly that he has been liberated of all worldly concerns, for he is none other than the reincarnation of St. Cognatus. There are some extremely questionable reports claiming that he has performed miracles. Supported by a congregation garnering from preaching, he has asked for your lordship's permission to depart Foulstone with the Crucible in tow, so that he may continue St. Cognatus' work and use the relic to transform worlds, one true to the faith of the Imperium, into lush, splendorous gardens. It goes without saying that such a generous gift to the Cronus Expanse could bring great renown to your lordship, but at a heavy cost. Foulstone would begin to transform back into a wasteland, and you would lose the prestige that comes with having charge over such a valuable relic. And what exactly do we know about this so-called St. Cognatus reincarnate? His former name was Tiber Hike, a technomat from Footfall. He now prefers to be called a Brother Purevoice, an unremarkable commoner with no family, gaunt, unkempt, and covered in scabs from working the Crucible. Ugh. He became obsessed with it from the day it was discovered, and has never left his maintenance post, never rested, barely slept, fasting and living off stimulants and condensate from the relic's cooling circuit. He started having revelations and apparently saw the truth. Or he went completely insane. It's a matter of perspective, I suppose. His sermons are directed at the commoners, appealing to them directly for humility and mercy. He often speaks about his former life as a saint, and many of his tales match known legends of St. Cognatus. No anarchical pronunciations or radical deviations from the Imperial Creed have been found in his words. Yet. What are our standard choices before we get anyone else involved? We can execute him publicly, make him undergo a trial of purity, let him die trying to prove his holiness, at least then he can stop troubling people. So we lose complacency for that one or that one. Induct him into the Order of the Hammer, forcibly if necessary. Consecrated weapons also lose complacency. Give the Crucible to him, let him bring worlds into the Imperium's fold. Efficiency -2, profit factor +1, Triumph of Faith. Interesting. Also, doesn't really make sense. If the Crucible is the only thing that's keeping Foulstone from losing a great deal of its environment, then taking it to other planets, settling them, using the Crucible on them, and then moving the Crucible to another planet isn't going to actually help anything. You just end up with a world that's habitable for a few decades at most, and then immediately reverts back into being a dead rock. Not exactly the brightest of plans there, buddy. Alright, I wish to hear the opinions of my advisors.
I have had ample experience with saintly savers like him in the past, Sherry. Whatever great cause they proclaim as their mission, they genuinely naively believe that people really need them. If we round up enough orphans and lepers who will trip over themselves to beg our prophet for salvation, he will soon forget all about the Crucible and this so-called holy mission. I know a few guilds of professional beggars who would be delighted to offer their services to us.
False prophets in the streets are a common occurrence, Lord Trader. Their sermons can breed turmoil, riots, and acts of disobedience, even if they don't actually speak of such things. The Inquisition recommends that such unstable agents be isolated and then quietly removed if they cannot be brought within certain parameters.
The arch-enemy's lies take many a guise, but the Emperor's miracles are 100-fold stronger. On more than a few occasions, he has bestowed epiphanies upon the faithful, even those of humble origins. I myself bear the name of a poor orphan who was granted miraculous powers by his grace. I ask that you give me and some others some time. We will find the most loyal agents to escort Brother Purevoice on his travels. They will keep him safe if he is pure, or punish him should they sense any deceit in his words. But I have a feeling that his rebirth may be a true wonder.
So Heinrich's options, no cost, we just gain access to the item. J, we get consecrated weapons, again with no negative. This one, we gain profit factor, lose efficiency. I wish I could mark over that, because honestly, losing efficiency isn't even the worst thing. And if it helps get us some more support from the Ecclesiarchy, I'm all for it. You know what? We'll go with that. Argenta, provide the saint with an escort that will accompany him in the Crucible on his mission.
I will see to it immediately, and choose the best people for the task.
Having loaded the Crucible onto a requisitioned void ship, the pure-voiced prophet gathered up his flock and set off for distant worlds to spread the word. The spiritual authority of the Order of the Hammer suffered as a result, and the loss of the Crucible sowed substantial unrest among the populace. Before departing, the preacher expressed his appreciation by sending the Lord Captain a gift, a relic that, according to his own claims, once belonged to his previous incarnation. The stern guard selected by Sister Argenta vigilantly provided protection for the prophet, ensuring that his thoughts and actions remained pure. Interesting. Yeah, we're still good on efficiency, so it's not even like that hurt us any. We still need to get holy ammunition, which means we still need to raise our reputation with the Drusians. Unfortunate. The Drusians, the Fellowship of the Void. Yep. Dargonus is done here. Good. Then we will go ahead and grab... Militia Navy? I think Militia Navy. Weapons, people, Promethium, all of which we have plenty of. We are running a little low on Promethium, but we gain security across the board and 6,000 points with them, with the Imperial Navy. So go ahead and do that. And Vabos also is... We do not want to do Captive Xenos, and we need either more Fellowship of the Void or more reputation with the Drusians. One or the other. Alright, let's get down to this silence system and get this fucking shit handled. I want this thing... Oh. The clan servicing the Void Shields Arrays petitioned the Lord Captain for aid. Compartments were being overrun with putrescent fungal corruption. The mycelium claimed one chamber after another. Thick black spores poisoned the rogue trader servants, causing their eyes to burst and their veins to swell until their skin rupture. The clan was issued reinforced unirobes and gas masks so they could keep working while the soldiers burned away the infestation. Yep, sounds about right. It's honestly one of the worst ones we've encountered on a yellow route. Yeah, we took even more damage. Goddamn. Call for help has pierced the tranquility of the uneventful warp flight. Something sinister afoot in the storage deck. 2 squads have already been sent to investigate, and both of them have gone missing. Alas, the only way to learn the fate is a personal visit by the rogue trader and his retinue. Alright, let's get it over with then. I was wondering when something like this would happen. Who do I get to reduce to ash today? Oh. Well, we found one of the squads. Ulfar. Okay, this is looking like a lot more than just 2 squads of enforcers, so that means everybody inside got killed too. Oh. Knuckle demons! Wait, just 2? That's it? I mean... Honestly, I'm kind of insulted. Not even gonna lie. Ulfar, take the one on the right. Abelard, take the one on the left. Irlet, actually, you can set up there. I'll set up here. We good? We good. Alright, we all know the usual shit. Go ahead and buff. Go ahead and buff.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Light, then we're going to point of curiosity. Well, I guess if we just draw him close to that. There we go. That's close enough. Actually, If I do this, and that forces him further away. Perfect! That's exactly what I wanted to see. Then walk over here if you would please, Cassia. Go ahead and cast that. That sets him on fire. Then we're going to give me an extra turn. And then we're going to cast Firestorm.
Refuse. I won't
I'm
stand.
sorry. How is that not in line of sight? Cast Firestorm. There we go. Oh, all the bodies are gonna... All the bodies are getting up. All the bodies are getting up. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Burn them too. Can we hit him from there? No? That's kind of aggravating. Can we do anything else? Not really. I'm just gonna go ahead and buff everybody then.
For whatever comes.
That's good. How many is that? 4 more? Alright. I guess you can just do that.
Navigate as duty demands.
And gone. Yep. Kind of hilarious that that thing actually thought he could do damage to him, but okay.
Your cause.
Pop that one's head off for me, Urlet. Thank you kindly. And then pop his head off if you would, please. Perfect. And then I'll just go ahead and take my turn. Oh, look, more things spawned. How many? I see 1, I see 2, I see 3. Where's the 4th one? It says there's 4 enemies. Where's the 4th one? Back here? Alright. Well, we'll deal with this. Pop. Pop 1 zombie. Pop 2 zombies. And then we'll move back here. Pop 3 zombies. These zombies are really weak. I'm honestly kind of surprised. Pop 4 zombies. Are we good? Oh, no. They're just gonna start spawning right in front of... Well, there's... Okay. Game, you need to make up your mind. I would have just spawned all of these because there's kind of no point in doing all the... Oh, now there's 20 of them. Okay. Okay. These guys actually do anything? Nauseating regeneration, incoming toxic damage restores wounds, and contaminated weapon. Inflicts toxin on their melee attacks. Okay, I mean... Why can I not start the battle? Why is start the battle phased out? Game? Oh, because people were next to one another. Okay, I'm a little confused. Well, is that? Let's go ahead and draw them over there. See, this is the problem, because I usually use something to set them on fire so that I can more easily use the rest of my abilities, but
Isn't this a job for the serfs? Another foul painted blood.
they just die. So, kind of not really working that well for you, is it? Yeah, go ahead and cast that in that direction for me, Cassia. Thank you. That brings us down to 15. Then, this is kind of aggravating. Kind of aggravating that I'm gonna have to spend this much time just dealing with a whole bunch of rank 1 zombies. You know what? Just go ahead and give me an additional turn, if you would, please, Cassia.
Shall prevail.
And then we're just gonna set everything on fire. And a 1. And a 2.
Another enemy down.
And a 3.
Make it happen. Your end was inevitable.
How many more we got? 10? Jesus.
I'll see
And a 4.
you never stood a chance.
Where else are they? I got plenty of movement.
On it. Another enemy.
And a 5. And a
Make it
6.
happen. Your end was inevitable.
I do believe that's it. We'll go ahead and pop that. Anything else we can do? Not really. We'll go ahead and inflame.
Personally,
And then we'll just pop this down on everybody, I guess. Why not? I guess I could run and gun, which should give me one more attack. Yep. Which means if I move over here and then cast that on him. Okay, 2 more down. That leaves us with 5. Cassia, if you would please go ahead and give Ulfar a move.
Insist, Lord Captain.
And we're going to go ahead and have him run up here. Pop. And give him a swipe. Alright. That leaves us with 3 left. Who are here, and here, and here. Alright. We're gonna...
Designate a target.
Da-da-da-da. Like, seriously, our enforcers weren't able to handle this? I'm kind of shocked, honestly. Pew pew. Zap zap. Alright, are we good now?
Is there money to be made?
Random event. Jesus. Alright. Oh. What the? The yellow pages of the tattered pamphlet give off a sickly, sweet smell of rot. The universe is drenched in foul blood and rampant profligacy. Disgrace, immortality, and lies permeate around every word. Agony, suffering, and pain thrive within us. Submit, repent, and accept your fate. Live and die in vileness and villainy. The omnipresent sickness pierces the void that stretches between sun and worlds. All of existence, however perpetual and unshakable it may seem, will one day witness its demise and turn to dust. Okay, it's just standard Nurglite stuff. Cities of today will become ruins of tomorrow. Rosy-cheeked maiden will turn into a filthy hag, and the soldier who walks the battlefield for the first time will forever stay there, sinking into the bloody, decaying mass of countless others. Open yourself to the truth. Depravity, filth, and vileness are eternal and all-encompassing, then they are things worth bowing to. Therein lies our hope. By resigning ourselves to the rotten deformity of existence and embracing all of its profanity, we can be honest and sincere with our nature. We can evade the doom of oblivion and become one with eternity, having trodden through all the world's putrescence and recognized its morbid and irredeemable wretchedness. We can perceive the soft and curative warmth of the true, most merciful face, and thus at last we can discover the path to salvation into the caring embrace of the great unclean one, to his rotting and all-accepting heart where there is a place for any true believer. Alright, buddies. Just gonna go ahead and put all that. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Just load it all up as cargo.
Rise to the top.
So yeah, still kind of... Yeah, that was literally it. It was literally 2 plague bearers and a whole bunch of zombies. And that is literally all that it was. I'm honestly surprised our enforcers were unable to handle that. I would think a couple of flamethrowers would have been all you needed, guys. Like, that was actually kind of sad. Where does Khorne come into play with Chaos? Are you saying where is he in the game, or are you talking about him in the lore? Kato. Which one exactly are you trying to get to? In the lore, so okay, come into play. Are you talking about what is his sphere of influence? What does he represent? Where he came from? Because we don't really know where he came from, although there's a lot of fan speculation. Oh, we've seen this one before. Put the cult under surveillance. Yep. Stop giving this, and he dismissed. Yep, no problems. Because his purview is that Khorne is the god of blood, war, battle, and murder. Oh, no. Khorne is a chaos god. He's not just he's not a demon primarch. Khorne is one of the 4. Khorne is one of the 4. He is the blood god. He is the sitter upon the skull throne. He is the primordial incarnation of all forms of violence and bloodshed. It's why he's technically the strongest of the 4, but he's also the most likely to waste his strength doing stupid shit. His influence is on every battlefield pretty much ever. Anytime that somebody is committing violence against another, technically Khorne gains a little bit of power from that. He does still technically have a good side. He's also basically the god of honor and like direct confrontation. And there used to be old lore points where while Khorne will never reject a skull from his skull throne, like the Khornite worshippers in general tend not to care. Again, the old phrase is Khorne cares not from whence blood flows. But there are a lot of lore implications that Khorne prefers his champions to go after actual challenges. So yes, is he going to say no to the Chaos Marine who butchered 1,000 orphans? No, he's not going to say no to that. Would he prefer said Chaos Marine fight, 10 mortal champions and emerge victorious from each one and turn their skulls into trophies? Yes. The elusive Contempt's captain contacts you. You can hear notes of disdain and mockery in his voice. Playtime is over, and he's sure he's going to come out on top. After the rogue trader's death, the Protectorate will become his playground where he'll claim plenty of booty before someone dares to hunt him again. The bridge officers report the elusive Contempt prepares for battle. And they shall pay for their pay for their impertinence.
Their efforts will be for naught.
Alright, what have we got here? Claymore class, the elusive Contempt itself, as well as 2 more Claymore class. Alright. Well, there's going to be plenty of targets, so we're going to pop our torpedoes out first. We're going to move forward. That puts him in range of both of our guns. Very nice. Prepare a full salvo, hit his front shields with everything we've got. What do you mean the target is too far away? He's in range. Thank you. Alright. Starting to hit his frontal shields pretty hard. I should have done that first, probably. Oh, well. And then we're going to... If we do that... Move here. Then I want you to open fire on him. Good damage. And I want you to warp wave, kill him, hopefully. There we go. My character literally just reaching out and twisting a ship in half. Gotta love it. Now he would be out of range, but we can use our arc augury to increase our range and give us... See, that's kind of bullshit. That should be hitting his front shields.
Open fire.
Good damage, good damage. You know what? Why not? He's the only target in range. Everything will hit him, and I have no reason not to use this. Hit him with everything we've got. There we go. Some actual damage on him. Yep. Claymore Corvette. They're going to open fire. Rear shields are taking a pounding. That's fine. Our Corvette or frigate escort should draw off some of their firepower. Ow. I don't like that they're punching right through our shields. Yep, Godsbane lance weapon. He's aiming for our frigate. That's fine. Let him waste his firepower. And here comes the broadsides. Oh, fighter squadrons. That's not good. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, do my shields just mean nothing? Jesus. Melta torpedoes. Hit him directly. If he wants to move right next to me, he can take it. Good. Now open fire. Then... go here. Hold on. What about right there? Yes. So okay, hold on. We already did that. If we move here, that puts him as the only target in range. We could still hit him with that. Yes, that is a good idea. Okay. So first, we're gonna open fire. God, still, that's hitting the rear shields. Hold on. Damn it. No, I know what I need to do. Vulnerability scan. Target him there. Then hit him with the Imperial Storm. Again. Hit him with everything we have. Jesus Christ. Then we're going to swing up here.
Engage the engines.
Open fire with the prow-mounted weapon.
Force of a supernova.
Weaken those. And we're going to open fire here.
Fully.
Okay, good damage. Good damage. We're directly behind him, so there's no reason not to... If I do that and move here, then he shouldn't be able to hit me with much of anything, given how he'll have to turn all the way around. Yes, I'm going to do that. Didn't even put an animation. Ship just went... Whoop. Okay, that was his prow weapon. I don't know how he managed to... Oh my god, we're taking way too much damage.
Do not hesitate.
We might be dead. Shit. Ow! He still hit... What the fuck? What is the firing arc on that? Well, we're dead. We're fucking dead. We're literally at 1 hit point because apparently he managed to hit my same shield with every single shot from every single attack he's made. Alright, well, we're not doing that then. Fuck. Shit balls. We need to reset. I'm not surviving with 1 hit point. There's no way to repair outside of combat, so... Was that... That was right after we left. Okay, we're just gonna do that one then. Okay. I was not expecting that to go as badly as it did. Holy shit. Then again, I wasn't expecting my shield... Oh no, this is the beginning of the fight. Fuck that. God damn, I thought that was the end of the fight. No, we're not... Ah, damn it. Because I went into the fight with some damage on me from when we were traveling through the warp, because I didn't get a chance to repair it. Or rather, I didn't think to repair it. Okay, okay. I'm gonna move forward.
Coordinates set.
Here we go. Second verse, same as the first, preferably better than we were before. He has so much goddamn armor. I thought my armor was doing pretty good, but apparently no. They just kept punching right through my shields. Alright, fire the torpedoes. Okay, how about... We're gonna change up our tactics. We need to deal with his... We need to deal with his posse.
Fire at will. With the force of a supernova.
This. Yeah. And then we're going to move here.
Take us in.
Now what can we do? We can do that, or we could... We're going to strafe the side. And we're going to shallow jump forward. It's not far enough. Yep. See, my shields are holding up just fine there, but now he's just dealing damage right through them. Yep, and now my frigate companion is absolutely fucked because he decided to park in front of the damn thing. Alright. Vaporize that Corvette for me, would you? Good. Open fire. Open fire again. Come on, kill him. we move here, I can hit him with that. No. If I move there, I think that'll count as... Okay, so swing out. Open fire.
Open fire.
And we want to do this. Yep.
Fire at will.
Good. Good. And then... I don't think there's anything else we can do there.
All hands, prepare for acceleration.
And we want to Imperial Storm. Okay, some damage, some damage. Yep, he's gonna have to spend a whole turn flipping around. Go ahead and open fire. You're probably gonna die next turn, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And here come his interceptors. He can fire directly behind himself? Are you fucking kidding me? That was bullshit. No, there's no fucking... Yeah, no, my fucking shit can't do that. What the fuck? That is horseshit. That is horseshit, and there is no fucking way you can tell me otherwise. That is goddamn horseshit. I am in his blind spot. The direct back of the ship absolutely should be a blind spot. How the fuck did he shoot me with his entire goddamn arsenal from directly behind? That is horseshit. I don't even got words for that crap.
Keep up the pressure. With the force of a supernova.
Well, now we can fucking do some damage to him. Thank fuck.
Make every shot count.
Swing back out this way. We'd have a chance for that. Do that. Stop the fucking selection, you piece of shit. No.
Let them taste our fury.
Good. You two... No, that doesn't do anything. Go ahead and warp wave. Then we're going to focused effort on the warp channeler. And we're going to go this way. And then we're going to shallow jump. And that's pretty much the best we can hope for. Yep, he's going to run in. He's going to attack my torpedoes. He's going to somehow still... Okay, at least my shield actually worked on that one. He's going to open fire on my torpedoes, which at least is wasting his attack. Go ahead and hit him. Alright. Halfway decent damage. Wave. There we go. Force him to turn all the way around. We do this. Bring ourselves around this way. Puts ourselves directly behind him. Take our stuff, add it to that ship, rename it. Yeah, I wish we could. Like, we've got an upsized frigate, basically. This is a full-blown cruiser. Actually, it might even be a battleship, because it's hard to tell if those are docking bays or just more stuff. Because if it's... The way with the Imperium you can tell is if it's got a single row of macro batteries, it's a cruiser. If it has 2, it's a frigate. Or no, sorry, if it has 1, it's a frigate. If it has 2, it's a cruiser. And if it has 3, it's a battleship or a battle cruiser. Open fire. Oh. Apparently his shields just stopped working. I'll take it. Fuck you.
No emergency beacon detected. No survivors detected.
Thank you for the update, Pascal. Of course, this asshole still thinks he can take me on. Full shot. Now take him down. Alright, that was the toughest space battle we've had. Shit. Very nice, very nice. Lots of Void Pirate. Holy shit, 44 ancient mechanisms and 6 ancient energy cores. God damn. Alright, repair. Now, what did we find? Some more provisions, some more plasma cells, auxiliary plasma banks, ballistic appeasement auto reliquary, and really, that's it? There's no weapon, item, shield, something? Fuck. Jesus. I don't think there was anything we could have used to upgrade. Oh, I suppose I could have equipped the Void Sunder Lance battery. It is a bit better. Medium range Lance battery. And a wide firing arc. Yeah. That. No, that's just straight up worse. That is better. Go ahead and add that. Long range dorsal plasma macro cannon deals 26 damage per shot with 2 shots, but that's actually weaker than the God's Bane. So that doesn't help. That engine's just straight up worse, so we don't need that. Yeah. Upgrade. What do we want? Rugged repair, sanctified restart. Using post abilities, they'll just be better. That expends 25% of our shields. Steady hand. Grab steady hand 1 and steady hand 2. Make it so that there's a chance that we get almost no cooldown on our abilities. Go ahead. Is that plus 30% and then plus 35%? Yes, upgrade. Lastly, we'll go ahead and upgrade that as well. Rank 8, we are now maxed out on that. Very nice. Okay. We've already got that. Plasteel of 2 and a Phlogiston of 5. We actually need that. We are actually very low. Oh, no, we've already collected that. Shit. I'm an idiot. Janus, Gamma, Draconis. They finished that. Go ahead and call to arms. 6 weapons in exchange for people and security across the board. Alright. Moving on. Now where do I want to go? I'm sorry, what? Space combat is available in the system. We already... Game? Yeah, that's what I thought. You're lying to me. I guess we'll check out Oh. Yeah, don't care. We'll check out Muro 79. I want to know what's going on with that. Oh my god. Really wish I had more navigator's insight so I could repair some of these warp lanes and we didn't have to deal with this shit as much, but... Oh shit, they're on the bridge. Mutant crew members. Oh god, more fucking... Oh god, this is gonna be aggravating. Okay, how do we want to do this? Cassia and me will deal with these guys. Ulfar, if you'd be so kind as to go down here and help my crew down there. There's no one behind us, right? Good, okay. And Abelard, you take the right. Irlet, you work with Abelard. Pascal, you go assist Ulfar. And that should be all we need. Cassia, if you'd be so kind. Please draw all of these suckers to a single point so I may annihilate them. Because what we're going to be doing is setting you on fire. Thank you. Then we're going to buff you up. Oh, we just ran into a random encounter, Kato, where a bunch of mutant guys tried to attack our bridge, and now we get to deal with all of that. It's probably not going to be that big of a deal. Honestly. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of tempted to just do that. Thank you for the buffs, Cassia, but if you could also go ahead and just lidless stare this entire group. Well, that wiped out half the encounter. Okay, game. Yes, they're all dying. We're aware. Now, let me do this. And then we're going to... Oh, they're right. They're already on fire, so I can just go ahead and inflame. That kills them. Then we're going to do that. That kills them. We run and gun. Get me a little bit closer over here. No, that won't allow me to hit anybody down there. Really? Damn. Unfortunate. Can I do it from this side? No. Well, fuck you then. Can I do it from over here? No. God damn it. Fine. Cassia, can't do anything. That's fine. Irlet. Go ahead and just... Go ahead and pop him. Oh man, we almost managed to kill him from the overshot too. That's 2. And then go ahead and use Death Whisper. And turn Ulfar. Go ahead and run forward if you would, please. He just knocked them all down. Glorious. Thank you for that, Ulfar. To be fair, he's a Space Marine. I would kind of expect that from a guy like that. And they're dead. Oh, he also knocked over the bridge officer. Sorry. Sorry. Still, we got them all. Literally 1 round of combat to knock out almost 20 enemies. Flak chestplate can go here. Wow, these guys didn't even have any weapons. That's kind of sad. They're not even going to give us cargo. My god, that was embarrassing. Is this seriously what the forces of chaos are capable of? Like, I'm honestly a bit disappointed. They didn't even have weapons. How much you want to bet their whole thing was that they would, like, explode if they got close to us or something? Or some other stupid bullshit. How do we get out of here? Ah, we use the map. Nurgle must not like me. Or maybe he feels left out. I mean, we fought a Chordate demon, we fought Zinchian and Slaneshi demons, but no real, like, no like, Nurgle enemy. Like, there hasn't been, like, a named enemy or demon. Let's check out this Explorer world. It's been a while since we've been here. Maybe they'll let me drop off fuel this time. Yes, go ahead and repair that. Nope, they don't want to talk. Shame. And then we're still getting the reports of that rumor in this area, and for some reason it won't let me... Yeah, see? We've already explored that, so that can't be it either. Any more updates? Yes, Stargonis. Call to arms, people. There is an issue there. Great. Guess we have to go back and deal with that. And the Bastion. We will turn Dargonis into the center, the defensive center of the Coronis Expanse. And it's already completed. Oh. Dargonus cries for help, my lord captain. Riots over the interpretation of scripture have begun breaking out in several hives across the world. While hunting for agents of the cult of the Final Dawn, the ecclesiarchy began reining in on the minor cults, attempting to force them to the correct adherence of the creed. The commoners whisper of oppression of the minor cults, even daring to claim that the holy pastors have assumed the sole right to speak for the God Emperor. The Foreman clan, around which the disgruntled commoners have coalesced, are rallying crowds of workers into the streets in order to prevent ecclesiastical agents from entering the sanctuaries condemned for dissolution. Having to go back to planets that have already been visited. Well, it is now just with the rumors, because we did so much exploration in Act 2, just because I wanted to see everything, that now when new rumors pop up, it's like, okay, it's not actually telling us anything. I have to go to these systems again and double check everything, which is unfortunate. The enforcers and agents of the Ecclesiarch have been able to curb the rebels so far, but division continues to grow wider by the day. Why are the foremen involved in all of this? This is a good question, my lord captain. This group often comes up in the reports from the capital world. I can assume that it is due to the fact that in their now ruined home, Scipione, they used to have a prevalent, more simplistic form of reviewing the emperor. The preachers have been preaching much about the importance of work, labor, and community's familial unity, but they mention very little about the importance of order or hierarchy, and they have granted their congregation a form of faith that is simple, cheap, convenient, and functional as their work clothes, though now they seem to think that the priests who are swimming in luxury want to take this away from them. Are there any reasons to believe that they're connected to the heretics or to more malicious cult activities? Thankfully no, your lordship. The rebels zealously oppose any heresy, fill the ranks of the planetary guard with new recruits, regularly outperform work quotas, and attend prayer service. The Foreman clan has been actively involved in uncovering the underground devotees of the ruinous powers, and has discovered 2 large, successfully operating cells. Indeed, our agents are quite confident that the likelihood of infiltration by agents from the cult of the Final Dawn is far lower than in other segments of the population. Support the ecclesiarchy, chase away these half-heretics, we get the Book of Minor Prayers and lose complacency. Or the ecclesiarchy should curb their appetite, they should go fight against dissonance somewhere that will not end in riots. We lose security but gain patron of the cults. Let me hear what my advisors have to say. Small deviances in the creed give birth to large ones, and large ones to heresy. The basis of our belief lies in the absolute trust of those above us, and if their beliefs push them towards revolt, that means that these tenets have been wicked from the very beginning. But it does not make the priests wicked. They could simply be misguided. Pass them into the ecclesiarchy's care for re-education, so they may see the truth and guarantee their flock's obedience.
Oh, Shireen, perhaps you should stop allowing the fat cardinals and their servants to do whatever they want with your people. Rein them in a bit. The faith in the Exalted One is not contained within ranks and titles, but within the hearts and hands of the commoners. And even this can take many forms. Let those who shoulder the welfare of Dargonus as a whole at least choose in which manner they pray to him. Take the minor cults under your protection.
We gain things with the Drusians, the Book of Minor Prayers, or we gain Fellowship of the Void, Patron of the Cult. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to go with Abelard on this one. Dargonus is too valuable a world to be allowing too much shifts in this kind of thing. Detain the priests, but send them to be re-educated. Try to keep it as peaceful as possible. Of course, the hostages will keep their flock from making rash decisions. The enforcers firmly disperse the crowds with shock batons and choke gas. They burst into the chapels of the cults, beat the acolytes, smashed any sacred symbols deemed orthodox, and smothered the dangerous embers of spiritual disunion looming over the planet. The relics that were not of an affront to the God Emperor were confiscated. The disobedient pastors were shackled and brought into the sanctuaries of the ecclesiarchy to be re-educated on the true meaning of the creed through humility and obedience. Their own flock, intimidated by unspoken threats of violent reprisals against their spiritual leaders, have since calmed down. Well, I suppose that made things fairly easy. Now, which one do we want? We can take a Schola Progenium, fate of 10 of the millions of orphans whose parents fell in the fire that gripped the expanse. We lose profit factor, unfortunate, but we gain efficiency and security, most of which are maxed out, a shit ton of extra people, and a light armor. Or we can go with the Librarium, gain a crap ton of bonus with the Castbolica mission, which we already maxed out on, so that's not the best. And whenever the wearer attacks any target in a 5-cell radius around them with a ranged weapon, the attack deals 10 plus armor penetration divided by 3% more damage. Decent. Or finally, we can get the Society of Cartographers, get a bunch of bonuses with the Imperial Navy, get a crap ton of Xenotech, Adamantine, and Phlogiston, all of which save the Adamantine we desperately need, lose only 3 profit factor, and pick up a 2-handed Drukhari weapon.
This weapon has an additional shove attack that pushes enemies away. If an enemy cannot be pushed, the wielder is pushed away instead, and the attack deals an additional wielder's agility bonus damage. The main thing I like about this is the Imperial Navy and the resources. The Schola Progenium we really don't necessarily need. Yeah, the third option does sound nicer. We've already maxed out the Kasbalika mission's reputation, so there's no point in taking this. Plus, it has the lowest profit factor. Well, I mean, it's better than negative, but the efficiency and security would have made up for it if we didn't already have almost these maxed out across our entire protectorate. So yes, I'm going to go with the Society of Cartographers. The Voidfarers will repay their favor with goodwill and trophies. Yes, we're going to go ahead and do that. Oh god, we're still going.
Terrible news from Dargonus, your lordship. Your vigilant servants have discovered an obsess of treachery on the capital world, one that has grown far too large and could rupture at any moment. Informants report that the group known as the Foreman clan is actually a cover for a horrendous cult of genetic degenerates, who currently have their people in every echelon of the hive.
Oh fuck, we have gene stealer cultists. Fuck.
They are traitors to the purity of humanity, traitors to the creed. They are rebels and heretics.
What exactly did our people find out?
One tenacious clerk from the Administratum who had questioned the authenticity of reports coming from the ruins of Scipione 84249. He personally attended the debris removal and entered the lower levels of the fallen hive, and there he discovered signs that proved Scipione to be infected by the gene plague. Thousands of corpses of extra-armed degenerates had been buried in a mass grave.
Yes, gene stealer cults are what happens when a gene stealer pure strain, gene stealer patriarch, manages to infect a human, and then that human goes on to infect others. They start to develop a psychic connection to the overarching hive mind. The thing is, though, is that many gene stealer cults at first appear to be very beneficial. They sponsor familial ties, local community, local defense. They tend to be very deferential to imperial authority. But they're also hiding massive numbers of mutations, and they encourage spreading their condition, which often involves marrying other people, then inviting them into the cult, then introducing that person to the gene stealer, who then implants the gene into them that makes them obedient to the gene stealer. And on the more degenerate side of things, they often encourage their followers to have lots and lots of sex and to have lots and lots of kids, because that creates more gene stealer cultists. So yeah. Even the Slaneshi don't like them. They kind of intrude on their turf a little bit.
They have also found the remains of Achilles Scalandra's own people. It seems they had noticed the signs of corruption of the traitors, aiming to cover up their crimes, buried their misdeeds under the ruins of the hive. On the way back, the clerk's transport was destroyed, but he miraculously managed to survive. And now the heretics think that they have covered their tracks once more, and so they continue their plots, oblivious and unprepared for our attack.
What exactly is this mutant plague that has affected our people?
A horrendous distortion of the human image. It seems that they have spread their poison by biting and enslaving the victims. Some of them are indistinguishable from normal humans, it is true, but others are disgustingly ugly. The heretics hide them from prying eyes, and they seem to be connected by a common consciousness and an absolute loyalty to this despicable cult. The astropathic choirmaster of Dargonus has suggested that the cult may be behind the extermination of the psychos on the planet. He can sense the ghost of a powerful consciousness of some sort.
That is true. Given our location in the galaxy, we would be very far away from the from the Tyranids' usual shadow in the warp, so the Gene Stealer cult might have taken it upon themselves to reduce communication in the region in order to try and increase the success of the cult's actions.
The astropaths that we are forced to serve on Dargonus are very afraid. They do not wish to become a living shield if the enemy launches another psi assault at us. I'm afraid that this line in our defense is quite fragile.
You believe the Foreman clan is a cover-up for these disgusting cults?
Indeed. They probably started to recruit the workers. It's easy to blend in with the laboring riffraff. Disguising themselves as technomats, they gained a cover for their secret organization and infiltrated the upper echelons of power. Each crisis allowed them to gain our trust and receive our resources. The most despicable of them all is they have corrupted our beliefs as well, but they still revere the God Emperor in the image of a four-armed abomination.
Yep, Gene Stealer cults. Definitively Gene Stealer cults.
Their prayers are full of hatred towards those in power and promises of a reckoning when their dreadful deity will come, and equate them with their oppressors, with us, that is. Many fools and troublemakers have also fallen for their lies. By letting them infiltrate the other hives, we allowed them to spread like a pandemic. Now the cells of their cult are everywhere. The suppression of the minor cults dealt them a harsh blow. By returning the flock to the loyal stable, we've cut down on the possible amount of new recruits.
Okay, so that's good. Heinrichs, what do you have to say on this?
They are called gene stealers, my lord. They are not simple mutants. They are a Xenos plague that breeds within the human brain and genome, forever distorting their genetic makeup and enslaving them to the brood. There is much more threatening than the Drukhari fleet that has ravaged your capital.
If they are on Dargonus, they will try to overtake the planet sooner or later.
The messengers of the Great Devourer. My race can sense the shapeshifters, but you should stay vigilant, Elantak. For a race with such a weak psyche as your Monkai, their appearance can prove deadly.
What forces do they have at their disposal? The heretics mostly consist of line workers, but some have infiltrated a number of the guard units as well. Their weapons are primarily made by repurposing industrial machinery. The cultists, however, are fearless and readily sacrifice themselves for the sake of their common goal. But the worst part is the psychic threat. We can't even begin to gauge it. If we do not have crushed the engine, if we would not have crushed the engine vandals, they could have joined the ranks of the cult, but at least we warded off that particular threat in time. I am glad I got rid of them, yes. We need to act. Absolutely right, my lord. It's impossible to negotiate with such degenerates. Our only option is to completely annihilate them. We should start from the top. Should we attack decisively and quickly, or should we expose ourselves by bringing our heavy weapons into the capital to gain an advantage in firepower? To quietly eliminate the leaders, or to hit the infected territories and cleanse them of traitors?
Savani di Firenze, you must raise your people to battle, publicly proclaim a war of faith. Tell the people that the heretics are hiding among them, and the millions of loyal subjects will grind the thousands of traitors to dust. May Dargonus cleanse itself of this filth.
I mean, Argenta only has a point, because technically that's usually how these things end, not how they begin. If the cult is caught before they're fully ready, they will go full scorched earth mode, and you will have no choice but to send the civilians in to fight them, because you won't have enough troops to deal with the rest. Argenta's ready to kick down doors. To be fair, it's the Gene Stealer cults. If you can catch them before they actually initiate their uprising, you want to burn them to the ground. And it should be important. You have to find the pure strain Gene Stealers that they brought in. If you don't find those, the cult can just escape and rebuild itself from the ground up again. The caustic laugh of the Xenos sent shivers down your spine.
Let others sully their hands, my dear rogue trader. Place just one beacon, and the armies of my kinsmen will crash down upon the affected hives. True, they may cause some additional casualties here and there, but have no doubt, none of your enemies will survive, even hiding in their little nests.
The cleansing should be thorough. Ever since the Xenos scum attacked your world, the wrecks of downed ships float within your orbit. Connect them to your ships, send them flying towards the nests of these spawn trying to encroach upon your domain.
I love how we have War of Faith, False Flag Attack, and Literal Orbital Bombardment. Heinrichs, please tell me you're the more sane one here.
Since all of them are linked by a common will, we could start by launching our attack on the psychic front. If the astropathic choir could drown out the voice of the brood, we'd be able to launch sudden strikes and act quickly enough before the enemy could restore cohesion and alert their forces to the assault.
Jesus Christ. These are literally our best options. Why does that use Lore Xenos? That doesn't make any sense. But Heinrichs has the best choice, honestly. One that hopefully will minimize the collateral damage.
Heinrichs, gather up your inquisitorial agents and prepare for a psychic counterattack. After that, we'll launch a full surprise assault on the cult's headquarters. I shall send the inquisitorial directives developed specifically for this scenario to the Dargonian enforcers. At the appointed time, the enforcers start their simultaneous raids across the hives of the capital, relying on stealth and surprise with the minimal use of heavy machinery. At the same time, the astropathic choir of Dargonus launched a truly devastating attack on the grim psychic shadow hanging above the hives. This attack stunned the heretics and temporarily cut off their near instantaneous psychic communication. But the heretics would not go down without a fight. Soon, an enraged outcry of psi energy from the brood swept through and above the hives, plunging the brave warriors into horror or bloody insanity. The astropathic choir had managed to drown it out with their menacing chants, but this was a test of wills, and only the most disciplined and steadfast of psychers withstood the force. The element of surprise did facilitate the swift extermination of many of the cult's leaders, leading the rest of the heretics to lose heart. The filthy shrines of the heretics were set ablaze. Only one thing made the rogue trader's servants feel a sense of unease. Inside the cult's main temple, they found a hatchery for some grotesquely enormous monster. It was empty. They did not find the beast. If the Emperor had been merciful to Dargonus, then the monster had perished in the fires that had engulfed the hive during that cycle. Wielder gains Lore Xenos divided by 3% critical hit chance against other Xenos. Interesting. So the cult has definitely been dealt with, but we're going to have to keep an eye out for the fucking Patriarch, because it doesn't look like he's gone yet. Son of a bitch. Okay, there's nothing else we can do there. We still need to figure that out, I guess. Honestly, plasteel, provisions, and people. Playable, plasteel, provisions. I'm kind of tempted because I could use their others, but yeah, we just dealt with a gene stealer cult on our capital world there, Justin. Turns out that when one of the hives blew up, there was actually a gene stealer cult inside, and they used the opportunity of the hive collapsing during the Drakari attack to go out and infect all the other hives. That is a really good effect, though. Getting it plus an additional willpower point is... ah, fuck it. We're just going to do it then.
Lord Captain, Vabo 6 is begging for help. Something terrible has begun prowling the planet, searching for a way to wipe out the planet's inhabitants. Victims have died in small groups at first, so it was dismissed as accidents, a poisoning, a crash transport, a small fire. But the death toll started to rise, and explaining everything as mere coincidence is no longer an option. The enemy appears to be testing out different methods of killing our subjects. It's looking for the most efficient way to murder as many of them as possible. Our pick traps sometimes catch us sight of a blurry dark shadow walking among the people, but no one has actually seen it with their own eyes.
What kind of accidents are happening? Give me a list.
There have been various sorts of mechanical failures, several ventilation systems emitting substances that have no business being in the ventilation systems, auspexes registering spikes in radiation, maintenance systems shutting down for no apparent reason. It all resembles extermination experiments, with your servants playing the role of test subjects.
Do we have any ideas?
The art of hunting relies on the art of hiding. You cannot see your target. Make it so that you cannot see your target. Make it so the target cannot see you. Deceive its senses. Seize an advantage.
A predator walks among your people. Then it is time to become predators. Your servants cannot see it and do not know where its lair lies. I will tell you how to find it. Spark the beast's curiosity. Leave something it craves in the open and mark it, so you may track the beast as it is carrying away the bait in its jaws. This is how you hunt prey on Fenris.
You call it your enemy, but you are mere pests in its eyes. This is not war. You said it yourself. This is extermination. It sees you as a nuisance. That is your asset. It underestimates you. Understand what it is you do that vexes it so much, and you will understand how to drive it mad. And after that, all that will be left is to lay the trap.
Is it kind of sad that, one, Ulfar and Marzai's advice are almost identical, and two, Marzai's actually making sense. I don't like it. So, Irlet requires an awareness check. Makes a good point. Find some effective disguising stuff for a wait for it to strike. Ulfar's advice is sound. We will bait it and draw the enemy out. Or Marzai is correct. Set a series of traps and provoke it to attack. Nonetheless, I prefer Ulfar's advice. We need to know more about it before we set the traps, but Marzai's not far off. I'll give him that.
A glorious hunt to cunning hunters.
To attract the enemy's attention, a lethal incident was staged, a radiation leak caused by an open trans-uranium container. Shortly after, a handful of the hazardous material went missing, and the wise tech priest used the radioactive trail to locate the monster's lair. Cornered in its den, the monster fought its final battle and was slain. A terrifying Xenos with a metallic, skeletal body and a single emerald eye. Fuck. Do not tell me that Vabo 6 is a goddamn tomb world. Oh, fuck me. Its lair turned out to be a crypt-like chamber, and beneath it was an entire fortress buried in stone. It's a crypt world. Oh, fuck. The walls were covered in glyphs similar to the mysterious patterns that the mad convicts have been drawing. They deal 3 times int energy damage with armor penetration equal to all adjacent creatures. Would have been great if we had a melee tech priest, but we don't. The chamber also contains the dissected remains of the missing miners. The omniscient servants studied the bodies, the crypt, and the Xenos corpse, hypothesizing that the inhuman belonged to a caste of sages among its kind. It had remained in stasis for ages untold, but had recently been awakened either by the mining effort or by the explosions caused by the Drakari invaders. After killing everyone who had approached its lair, the creature tried to wake its brethren, but millennia of tectonic shifts had crushed the underground fortress. The creature was... Oh, thank God, it's a destroyed tomb world. Oh, thank God, we got so lucky. The fearsome insects, the ones that assailed the colony, were the only tools the Xenos had left, so it chose to lie in wait. But when the heretics of the Final Dawn sabotaged the fortress reactor and attempted to destroy the planet, the Xenos grew restless and started searching for a way to eradicate the humans. Now the last Xenos survivor was dead, and so was its entire race. Or at least so prayed every denizen on Vabo 6. Oh, if we manage to dodge the bullet that is a Necron tomb world, I'll take it. Jesus Christ. We got lucky. Is there anything else? We still need the holy ammunition for that. Which means we can't do that yet, unfortunately. And we need Fellowship of the Void for this. There's no reason to do that. Yep, we just got to get our reputations up with the Drusians. Oh, okay. That's all taken care of finally. I think... You know what? We're going to go back to our original plan and start moving closer to, Oh, Jesus Christ. Unidentified vessel did not respond to our hails and kept its course. We'll just dodge it. That sounds like a good idea. Yep, was completed without any casualties. The unknown vessel, the warp mirage, passed us by. Well, from the sound of it, the Mechanicus report claimed it must have been a noble, but I find that highly unlikely given its single eye and the way the body was described. It sounds more like a wraith, which are not fully sentient warp constructs, but they would have the authorization to use scarabs and the like. Though I suppose I could be wrong. It is entirely possible that it is actually a high-ranking Necron of some kind. One of their priest caste or whatever. I can't remember all the title. They have like chronomancers and things like that that all have different abilities that they use. Yeah, we need to do... I don't know if so wait, so there was something in the system? Hold on. And also, to be fair, a single Necron is not so bad. A single Necron is fine. It's just the question of is this actually a single Necron, because somehow I doubt it. It's usually not. Also, didn't this thing say something about a lava world? No? I don't know. Maybe it's the arid world. Let's check out this anomaly. The endless canvas of the cosmic void is interrupted by what looks like a bottomless hole. Sight cannot pierce it. No stars, no planets, no cosmic dust. There is only darkness. The auger team has failed to glean any information from the anomaly, and under the influence of a mysterious force, the void ship is being slowly drawn towards this heart of darkness. The officers on the bridge worriedly look up from their cogitators. The machine's screens turn on and off chaotically, not obeying any of their operators' commands. The walls of the bridge, crew's silhouettes, the ship's holy machines tremble and stretch before your eyes like rubber bands. Alerts of malfunctioning cogitators, maddened chronographs come in from every deck. Reports of indescribable hallucinations begin to grip the crew. While the tech priests are trying to placate the machine spirit, Helmsman Ravo reports that the situation is getting worse. Navigational systems are barely functional. The invisible force is getting stronger and accelerating, ceaselessly dragging the vessel into its dark bosom. There's little time, and Lord Captain must decide to leave the dangerous place or give in to the force and study the anomaly from within.
Tobio92 is now aboard.
Hey, Tobio92, thank you for the follow, man. One more step closer to hopefully getting Twitch affiliate. Slowly but surely, slowly but surely. Check the archives to see if there's any data on something similar. A few operators managed to wring a minute amount of useful information out of the archives. Such anomalies are extremely rare. Randomly appearing gravitational wells which connect different points in space where such a well leads to is impossible to predict. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a slow going, but I've accepted that that's going to be the case. And there's no use trying to rush it. There's no use trying to get, you know, screaming about it or getting upset about it or anything like that. I'm just going to keep streaming and let it go. Fuck it. Fuck it. We ball direct the vessel into the center of the anomaly. The closer the vessel gets to the hull, the faster it's pulled in. Thousands of people on every deck gripped by panic, their bodies turning into thin, twisting threads, fraying, tearing into pieces, exposing veins, bones, internal organs, falling apart into screws, plates, and bolts. Tech priests continue to offer relentless prayers to the machine spirits, their barbaric chants melting into an endless scream for cries and help. Finally, the void ship jumps into the cosmic tunnel with a torturous lurch. Oh shit, we actually did get teleported somewhere. Where are we? Have we been here? Wait a second. We've been here, haven't we? Adamantide 2, we have plenty of that. Promethium 7, we could actually use that. Let's go ahead and grab it. And the Recologer's Plot. Isn't that the ship that we... Wait. The former Recologer colony greets you with Vox silence. It would seem the ship has been deserted in the time you've been gone. Alright, order the crew to dismantle the vessel down to the last cog. That's the second time you went up against the cosmic thing, is it? The last time it was like a warp thing, a warp creature that was near the sun. That was what teleported me away. And it didn't have like anything on the map. This thing had like a whole black warp hole thing on the map. Workers and servitors hastily flood the empty decks. Your people will need time to fully dismember the old ship, but until then, the forgotten chunk of metal belongs to the von Valancius dynasty. So that's it? That's it? Seriously? Where the hell are we? Oh my god, we're on the other side of the damn galaxy. Well, I've only got like 20 minutes left to... no, we can retrace our steps. We've got green warp routes throughout most of this area. Beholding the truth. Oh, is this one of the ones that we needed a better auger system for? I think it is. That one we can probably do. And maybe I can finally clear one of these rumors off of my goddamn fucking quest log. There we go. Oh, Ptolemy, good to have you back. And good to see that you've been able to get through the tutorial on Space Marine 2. We've only got about 20 minutes or so left before I'm going to have to get off to get ready to go to work. And I will be setting up my Steam to be downloading Space Marine 2 while I am at work. According to the ancient chronicles and maps handed you by the... Yes, we've seen this part. In less than a decade, the planet surface was completely covered in ice. So now we have the better scanner. It looks like the Pilgrim's records were true. Your augers managed to locate the shapes of several Imperial buildings under layers of snow and ice, though one can only guess what purpose they used to serve. Develop a plan for changing the planet's climate without support from the Imperium. After deliberating, the senior officers unanimously decided that the only Adeptus Mechanicus possesses the technologies required for the project of such a massive scale. The rogue traders should contact their representatives in the Cronus Expanse to secure future cooperation. Ooh. Or we can maybe we can actually terraform a planet? That would be pretty cool. Okay, now where do we go? We're right. We're making our way back up this way. Thank God I have green warp routes connecting my planets. I'm glad I did that at least. Was there anything we... Hold on. There we go. Pick up those. Those. Thank you. To jump up here. Within the rumor zone of forewarning. Interesting. Yeah, dealing with all those rumors and getting those cleared off of my table is going to be an aggravation. And we do need to deal with this holy delegation event that has popped up here. Go ahead and repair that. No. I wanted to actually land on the planet. Okay, there we go. Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso has arrived on the planet for a brief visit. A great many itinerant pilgrims have come with him in hopes of finding a new home. Why did you come to a penal colony? Let me rephrase that. Hieronymus, I get why you came to a penal colony. Why did you bring a bunch of pilgrim settlers to a penal colony? That doesn't make sense. We can either gain 2, gain 4. The Grand Mass burning of blasphemers in the week of faith in honor of his arrival. Welcome him with lavish festivities. So we can either use 2 Promethium to get 4 people. We're just going to accept the faithful. If they want to stay here, that's fine. Many of the pilgrims, weary from years of wandering, decide to settle in the rogue traders' colony. Reverend Hieronymus departs for another world, taking the rest of the faithful with him in search of a planet that could become their home. Okay, that seemed... We wasted all of our time coming here to do this. What the fuck? screw it. Let's reduce the difficulty of this ever so slightly. And then we're going to jump. And we took damage. Superstitious voicemen are paralyzed with fear before the mad servant of the adeptus mechanics. God damn it. Now I have to deal with... Oh, he's probably going to have servitors with him, isn't he? Ugh, we can't have anything nice. Alright, let's deal with this asshole. Where is he? I'm really not in the mood for this to take forever. Alright. Overcharged corrupted servitor. Regular corrupted servitor. Oh, he has a turret. Oh. Fuck. No, don't. Stop. Alright, what are we dealing with? Servitor. Corrupted tech priest. Servitor. Turret. Where did he get turrets in the middle of our ship? Cassia, please move up here. Me, please move up here. Irlet, stick back here for a second. I'm gonna need... Well... Oh no, that should do good. There we go. Pascal. Go. Set you up over here. Wolfart. Get up here. Abelard, you too. Come on. Alright. Overcharged corrupted servitor. Oh, I just realized there's no way to actually get... Or no. Well, I mean, we can get through there, but I don't think Ulfar can get through there. Alright. The usual bullshit.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Revealed light. Life expectancy on the ship has decreased yet again. It is now 78 days. Yeah, that does seem to be the case. Well, to be fair, the only living person down here that got into anything is the corrupted tech priest. Everything else down here is a servitor, and the rest of everybody on the deck ran away. So, honestly, it's literally only one dude who's going to be causing a problem right now. If we... Can we cast it there? We can cast it there. Pull them all away. Thank you, Ulfar. Always down for getting that extra damage. Thank you. Then we're going to set you on fire. No, Cassie, you weren't supposed to kill him. I needed you to put him on fire so I could use my firestorm ability on him. There we go. That's better. Then we're going to... Well, we do have one more turn. Actually, yeah, if we do that, go ahead and force them to the left a little bit. Well, it forced two of them to the left. That's fine.
If I may.
I'm going to... Can we... Come on. Why? What? How is he not... He's not under... What the hell? Her ability burned the other people? The fuck? Oh, fuck you, game.
I refuse.
How do we... you've got to be shitting me. There we go. Use that. Set him on fire. Then we're going to take our firestorm. We're going to prop it right on top of him. There we go. Much better. Whoa, okay. Why is the camera... Okay. And we're going to take this, and we're going to set you on fire. Yep. And then we're going to inflame. And that's it. That's all we can do. Yep, he's going to be walking towards me. He's going to walk over towards Ulfar. Ulfar doesn't care because he's a space marine. Oh, that's a multi-melta turret. Fuck. Okay, at least it sucks at aiming. Pascal. Machine spirit banishment, maybe? Why can he not see anything? There we go. Let's go ahead and do that. Good. I know you don't like having to use this on your machine. And it's okay, Pascal. It'll be okay, buddy. Alright, we need a little bit more damage on that end, so we're going to pop Hold the Bold. We're going to pop Precise Shot. We're going to pop the extra damage. pop, pop. Thank you. And go ahead and throw exploits on them. Alright, he missed again. Thank God. Yep, and then he goes, and then he goes. Alright. Well, you know what? We're gonna use that on him first. Pop, pop.
No more.
Then we're gonna take advantage of the fact that we already have this side. Let's boost up our crit hit chance nice and high. And we're gonna take... Nope, not feigning attack. That was not what I wanted. That was not what I wanted. I wanted this.
If I must.
Thank you. That worked out brilliantly. Abelard, if you would be so kind. Sworn enemy. Reckless strike. And then go ahead and swing. There we go. Very nice, Abelard. Thank you. That leaves us with 5 enemies. And yes, that was what I was afraid of. Ulfar can't actually move through here. Which means he's now useless. Son of a bitch. Just go ahead and take some pot shots at them, if you would please. Thank you. Alright, so if I move there, we can set him on fire. And then I've got my additional attack. Really? I can't see them from here? Are you kidding me? They are literally down the way from me. They are literally at the bottom of the stairs that I am standing on. Yeah, that's what I thought. Set them on fire. Set them on fire. Everyone is now on fire and now in flame. How is he still at 78 health? How? Cassia, if you would please go ahead and give Irolet some bonus stats. Go ahead and freeze him in place. There we go. And then go ahead and give Irolet another turn. Irolet, if you would so kindly, please finish this. Thank you. Nice and taken care of. He had a stun grenade and an auto gun, and that was literally all that was down here. Alright, let's get the hell out. Where's the door? Where's the door? No, that's not the door, apparently. Let me go back out this way, then. There we go.
Was there a reason we couldn't have just depressurized this bay? Sure, the servitors would have been fine, but the tech priest probably still had lungs.
Mostly. At the very least, he wouldn't have been able to last very long. Start new routes. Get some of our navigator insight back. Thank God, because we've had almost none since Act 2. I really should not have used them up. Oh.
Lord Captain, we've arrived in the Phaeton 4 system. Our translation for the warp was a little rough. Net loss of about 500 souls on the middle and service decks.
Okay, Ptolemy, I take back what I said. You were completely correct about the life expectancy being 78 days. Jesus fucking Christ.
God Emperor only knows how many wounded, but the only half of it. The brain boxes on the augers are sending me reports that aren't doing my mood any favors. Real space here's got more holes than the sieve, and all of our senses are playing up. Gotta be sorcery of some sort, Lord Captain. If I was you, I'd do what I came in to do right sharpish and clear the hell out while we can. Seen the likes of this before in the same region. Maybe your sorcerers will be able to explain it better, but here's what I know. Shit like this never ends well.
Well. Why is there... What the hell is wrong with that star? Alright, well, begin the scan. See if there's anything we can find here. A whole bunch of promethium. We'll take it. The surface... The star is distorted. Yes, it is, Reki. It is literally saying that. I'll be honest, at first I thought it was a texture glitch. And then I realized it actually says distorted star next to it. And I realized, okay, that's not a glitch, that's a feature. The surface of the star shimmers with a myriad of hues. The dance of colors fascinates any who dare glance at it. The playful colored patterns appear on the vessel's augurs in a wide variety of spectra, infrared to ultraviolet. Every voidsman knows that such emissions are dangerous to organic matter, and Master Helman Ravor has asked the crew to resist the desire to admire the star. Not everyone manages to follow the advice, and some of the crew members begin to suffer from nausea and headaches. No. Order the shutters of the bridge's glass to be closed. No reason for everybody to be suffering just because we're looking at the damn thing. Nothing there. Alright. Quick save. And what have we got here?
I'll be your beacon in the darkness.
I blocked some of your flagship posts in an unknown power. Okay. I mean, I get that. Where the fuck are their ships? Hold on. Okay, Bloodied Claw Cruiser. So that's a big one. Meanwhile, we've got 2 Sigil-class destroyers. So we move over here. I need that and that. So first I'm going to move here.
Take us in.
We will deploy our torpedoes. Then we will move further up. We serve as a crewman of a rogue trader Imperial Guard. No, honestly, yeah. As a guardsman, you at least know what's going to happen. With a rogue trader ship, or even, hell, any Imperial ship in which you're not on, like, the officer's deck, you just don't know if everything is going to fuck up. Also, I didn't realize that our augers was what was screwed up, so now I can't use this gun. Now, can I? Shit. Alright, well, open fire. I said open fire. How? 3 of his dots are in range. That is... I don't like that. What is the point of the enemy having such a large hitbox if you can't... Well, we can fix that problem. Shallow jump. Fuck you. Now open fire with our new Lance battery. Good. Good, good, good. Anything else we can do? Doesn't look like it. No, we'll hold off on that. Yep, the Sigil class destroyers are going to have to swing around. Thankfully, they're far enough away. Sword class frigate should be able to keep them off of me. Yep, he's going to fire his artillery. Ow, that's a lot. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We handled it. We handled it. Oh, this is perfect. Move the melted torpedoes here. Then they end turn. Then we use torpedo control. And immediately fly it into him. There we go. Now open fire. Which one's our heaviest weapon? 52 to 60 or 91 to 105? Fire that one. Oh, you think your shadow field is going to help you? Warp wave, bitch. I tear your ship in half with my brain.
Praise the Omnissiah.
Prepare for acceleration.
Alright. Now we just need to get over here and help our escort. Oh, you came to us. How very nice. The one that ends me, I don't want to be mauled by Xenos or beat off by an orc. Well, watch your phrasing there, Kato. The orc will not be beating you off, but he will be beating you. Open fire. Open fire again. Oh, really? They're being a right pain in the ass now, aren't they? Alright, alright. Pull up alongside them if you would, please. Full broadside. There we go. That takes care of things.
Take us in.
Now get me over here, and then warp jump. Get us nice and close. Go ahead and deploy some torpedoes just in case. And in turn. Oh yeah, he's being real. You're being real crafty there, don't you? You think he's shit. Yeah, he got in right behind us. That's gonna be aggravating. Torpedoes, they're not gonna be able to reach him. Not even close. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. We use new heading. and we pull around here, he will be in range for both of those. So we're going to do that. Yes.
Engage the engines.
Tight turns, tight turns.
With the
Open
force
fire.
of a supernova.
Good, there we go.
The effectiveness of the crew has been recognized as adequate.
Reliable intel for local Zinch follows. I'm sure that your comments are nosy.
I wouldn't take that deal, Kato. I think Ptolemy's trying to set you up for something. I wouldn't take that deal. It seems like a bad idea.
Begin scan. Evacuation site. Now, obviously, we have to bring Heinrichs. You know what? I'm gonna bring Marzai, because I want to see what he has to say about all of this, given the whole Dark Eldar thing being here. But we'll also bring Irlet, Pascal, and Cassia. We should be, well, yes. That covers our social interactions, tech interactions, Xenos interactions. Heinrichs can handle the coercion actions. Although we will probably be... Yes, we just passed the 3-hour mark, so I'm going to need to finish up here shortly.
Rush not dawdle.
No, that is not how we're going to be... Oh, no, wait. That is how we're going to set things up. We got Heinrichs, we got him, we got them. Yep, that's actually how we want to do it. But, oh dear.
What has triggered this unit's interest is blasphemy imminent.
I can feel the pain of the iron parts inside you. It is intentional, yes. You're not as blind to true pleasures as the other monkey.
I mean, that's not exactly what he's doing it for, Marzai, but, yeah, sure. If it keeps you from having to do anything else to him, you can do that. All right, so we are past the 3-hour mark. I need to go get ready for work. Let's see if we can find somebody to raid real fast. Who have we got? Who have we got? Oh! Justin is doing his stuff. We're just going to return the favor to Justin. Let's get on over to Justin's channel. And we will go ahead and do that. Let me just adjust that and mute the desktop audio. All right, I'm going to go drop you off with Sir Justin the Lion. And he is currently in the middle of playing Rogue Trader. Looks like he's still in Comoral right now. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I hope you all have a glorious day, and hopefully everything going well. We will be doing Space Marine 2 tomorrow and for the foreseeable future until I feel like I'm done with the game. It'll help pad out the length until the DLC for Rogue Trader comes out on the 24th, I think. So hope you all have a glorious day and a glorious rest of your week if I don't see you, and I hope to see you on Wednesday. Have a good one.